One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
You said sometimes in order to succeed, you must be willing to take risks. How did the risks early on as a model prepare you for life as the First Lady?
I think nothing prepared me more to be First Lady in front of the world than the fashion industry. The fashion industry, it's glamorous, but it's at the same time very tough. And as everybody judges you, look at you a certain way. So it can be mean world as well. So nothing prepared me more for this world than fashion. It gives you a thick skin.
So it was August 27th, 1996, and you had this modeling contract. You have 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a passport. That is all you brought with you to America.
And my portfolio.
And your portfolio.
That was very important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You need to find a job. So 10 years, and you hit the ground running. You didn't even go to your apartment. You immediately went to work.
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Well, when I arrived to New York City, I still remember it was Tuesday afternoon, early afternoon. I went directly from the airport to the agency. So I start right away. You sign the contract, they copy your portfolio, and you start. So it was an exciting time.
So 10 years later, after arriving here, you find yourself raising your right hand and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and becoming an American citizen. You had no idea at that moment you would go on to become the First Lady of the United States of America. What did that day, becoming a citizen, mean to you?
I was very proud. I went through the process, and that day was a big celebration. Was very, very proud.
So meeting Donald Trump, how did you meet him?
We met at a party, and you could read a whole chapter in the book.
Yes, you were at the Kit Kat Club, and
Yes.
there was that moment of connection, and then you refused to give him your number, and you asked for his number, and you went on a modeling shoot in the Caribbean. And while you're down there, you couldn't stop thinking about him. And so you came home and you called him. What happened?
We went to on the first date, if you could call it a date.
Because it was mixed with professionalism too.
Correct,
right?
and I completely understand now that I know him more.
Yes.
It was so him. And I liked in one way about it because I was the same, and I love the vision that he had and the connection that we had. So it was very special.
You get in the car and he drives you to Bedford, and outside of the city, an hour outside of the city, and he wanted to show you a business or some property that he had. Mm-hmm. So he was combining business with taking you on a first date.
And it was very nice because we were two of us alone in the car for an hour and a half. And it's no other noise, no other people, because at that time he was already known and a celebrity.
In case you're wondering, I'm showing part 2 of this interview with Melania. Obviously, we're going to go and cut to the town hall as soon as Trump gets on, as soon as he begins walking up the stage. And also, whoever the moderator is, we'll go ahead and cut to them as well. As of right now, nothing. People are still talking. Trump's probably going to be delayed, so we have some time to go through this interview. I think it's really interesting to hear the insight from Melania as, Trump's wife and how everything evolved. In the first one, she talked about the assassination. In this part of the interview, she's talking more about how their lives developed together. So, just so you know, we are not going to miss anything. I don't want to hear anybody in the chat telling me, oh, he's on stage. No, I've got 2 monitors open. I am watching. Just like this afternoon, we saw something happen. RFK Jr. walked out. Boom, I hit the button. So everything is fine. They're just waiting for Trump to take the stage. He's probably going to be late because his that last speech ran quite over in terms of time. So let's enjoy listening to Melania.
So it was really nice to be just 2 of us.
Yes. Did you fall in love then?
It was a connection. Mm-hmm. It was a connection.
Mm-hmm. You said our chemistry was undeniable. Our connection felt natural. In private, he revealed himself as a gentleman, displaying tenderness and thoughtfulness. Did he ever say to you in those early stages, or even in that first car ride, I'm going to be president one day?
No, we didn't discuss. That time not.
Did he tell you
but
eventually?
Soon,
did you know
But soon later, yes, soon later. So not that he would be the president, but he always was involved in politics. He was very in tune what's going on in the world, and especially in this country.
6 years into the relationship, it's April of 2004, and he proposes to you.
Well, first of all, it was my birthday as well, and it was a Met Gala. So it was all in one. We were all ready at home, both of us in black tie. So he proposed that time.
Describe your wedding day. It was January 22nd, 2005. It was almost a year after you were engaged, and you got married at Bethesda by the Sea, beautiful church down in Palm Beach, and then the reception at Mar-a-Lago. What was that day like for you and your family and your mom?
It was an exciting day, a busy day. As every bride, you want to make sure everything goes smoothly, and it went. We had a good day.
I'm sure. There was a touching story in the book about the baptism candle. Your mom brought this over from Slovenia. It was the candle that was lit in the church when you were baptized. You lit it at your wedding, and then you lit it again when Barron was baptized. And you still have it, I assume.
I still have it. Interesting. I was baptized on Donald's birthday.
Really?
June 14.
Wow.
The dates connects.
Yes.
So my mother, she thought about it and she brought it here to the United States.
And you say in the book about becoming a mother, you said, I stepped back from public life, no longer wanted the glamorous photo shoots and the jet-setting lifestyle, and my career took a back seat. Was that a hard change for you?
It was not.
No, why?
Because I had a different purpose in life.
Best day of your life when they put the baby in your arms?
Something changes.
Yes.
Yeah, something changes.
There's a picture in the book, and you're working at the desk, and you have Barron in one of those small little motorized cars. Books, his children's books are all over the floor. You have your papers all over the desk. And I looked at that picture and I said, this is a working mom's life. We can all relate to this. Everything's chaotic, everything's hectic, but it's so much fun. And everyone tells us to enjoy those moments because they're fleeting. And your kids grow up and it just flies by. When you look at that picture, what was happening in that moment?
When I see it, that was the time that I did QVC collection, my jewelry,
which sold out in 45 minutes.
It did, yes, was very successful. So I was doing all at the same time, working, playing with Baron. He has his own time with, his car and his books, and we talking. So I think it's very important that we show our children that we are working too, to give them an example how life is. That they see us, that we are productive, that we have ideas, that ideas comes to life. And that's how I was showing to Baron.
And did you and Donald Trump, did you ever talk about having more children? Did you want a larger family?
I was always perfectly fine with one. And Donald was encouraging to have more. And I said, I'm completely fine with one because it's very busy life, and I know how busy he is, and I'm in charge of everything. So that's why it's just perfect.
So Donald was on Brian Kilmeade's show last weekend, and Brian was asking him about your relationship, and he said, Brian, she really, really does love me. So what do you love most about your husband?
His humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable.
Donald Trump giving a lady at the cash register $100 to pay for her groceries. The little boy with a rare disease, he invites him to the rally in New York, and the little boy cries when he receives a letter on his birthday from Donald Trump. Donald Trump calls all the service members, their family members, when they lose their lives. These are stories that a lot of people, you're not going to see this on other networks. Is that the man he is?
That's the man he is, yes.
One word to describe him, what would that be? One or two words? Caring especially for this country.
All right, I got a comment here. It says, Barry, are you going to be able to broadcast the town hall, or am I going to have to watch then come back? No, we are showing the town hall. Trump is in transit. He's not there yet. He will be on stage. I'm watching on two different monitors. I can see when he gets on stage. Breathe, chill. I'm just letting Melania's interview play. And then whenever he gets on stage, well, before then, we'll be talking anyway. So just relax. Everything's okay. You're going to be fine. You won't miss a second, I promise.
What do the two of you like to do for fun if you're not working?
To have dinner, sometimes quiet dinner or dinner with friends and listen to the music, all kind of different musics.
I hear he likes to be the DJ.
He likes to be the DJ, and it's very fun night when he does that.
When you married Donald Trump, he already had 4 children, and you talk about that in the book, and it would seem so fun to have just so much life and children around you. You said, I gave everyone their own space, grounded in love and respect. You didn't always agree, but acknowledged differing viewpoints. So what advice do you have for blended families?
To take individual as they are. You cannot control anyone. You could control only your own behavior, your own words. Everybody is in control of own self. I'm not in control of my husband. I'm not in control of his children. I'm not even in control of my child. He's his own person. And we all have yes and no's, and we are all individuals. Once you lead your life with respect and love, that's all what it matters.
Barron now, he's so handsome, and we've enjoyed watching him grow up. I'm very proud of you for keeping his life private. I think that's important. Barron's now in college. What was that like for you? What advice can you give all of us who are a little nervous about that day because we just love our children so much? What's it like being an empty nester?
I could not say I'm an empty nester. I don't feel that way. I raised Barron as a own person and gave him his own yes and no's. I respect that. It was his decision to come here, that he wants to be in New York and study in New York and live in his home, and I respect that. And he's an incredible young man. I'm very proud of what he grew up to. His strength, his intelligence, his knowledge, his kindness, it's admirable. And he's enjoying his college days. I hope he will have a great experience because his life is very different than any other 18, 19-year-old child.
I was moved to tears in your book when I read about the loss of your mother, and you said this about her loss. There is an unparalleled sorrow in losing a mother, a profound heartache that shatters the spirit into fragments. For me, this heartache feels insurmountable, and the weight of grief is overwhelming. It does feel insurmountable sometimes, and let me be strong, but what advice do you have? Because I remember when my mom lost my grandmother, it was devastating, and it really separated her from God for a while. She came back to God. She just had a lot of questions because she felt like he took someone that was so special to her away from all of us, but it made my faith stronger. But what advice do you have for people that are going through this, to lose a parent?
Well, it's a very a moment that nobody prepares you, and it's a grief that comes in waves, and you need to feel it. You need to have that inner peace to go with it, to feel it, to experience it. And first of all, I want to thank all of the people around the world who sent beautiful letters, beautiful prayers, very kind notes. Thank you to everybody who wrote me, who thought about me and my family, and was really deeply appreciated.
Yes, and I know she lives on in Barron. I remember at her funeral, Donald Trump talked about how your mom would cook for him, and that's probably why Barron is so tall.
She was a very special woman, full of warmth, kindness, and also strength. Her life was incredible in Slovenia. She established a life for myself and for my sister. Incredible life, also my father. But her strength was admirable. And once Barron was born, he was her focus. She moved here to the United States to be close to him and to raise him in one way. It's almost like she was a second mother, especially because of my schedule in the White House and being so busy. And they had an incredible bond. Her and Barron, it was a relationship like no other.
All right, that was our First Lady, Melania Trump. I hate that people ignored her when she was in the White House. The modeling magazines that she modeled for didn't want to cover her because the left nuts would be all upset. Their loss. Absolutely their loss. So anyone who is wondering, let me just bring you up to speed. We're waiting for Donald Trump to arrive, or at least some of the speakers to arrive. What is probably going to be an issue, and I might as well just let you guys know this in advance, because I just looked it up. We just ended, seems like we're here together, and now we're back with each other. But I just looked this up, and I want to show it to you so you guys can be prepared. We may have to have a music talk. Who knows where we're going to go with things here. But this is the map. Let me put this up. of where we were. So Trump was just in Walker, Michigan, which is on the west side of Michigan, as you can see, and he's traveling all the way across over here to Warren. Let's hope that he's not driving. Let's hope it's not a motorcade, because if it's a motorcade, damn, we may be here for a while, because as you can see, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, which means the last talk that he gave ended somewhere about, 4. So if they got him off stage, threw him in the beast, and started heading across 96 there, we're still 2.5 hours away from him getting there, which would put him there at about 6:30. Not sure if that's how he did it. Now, if he flew, that's different. And if they decided which jet they're going to use, if they use the fake jet or the big jet or however they got him, 163 miles, could they have a jet copter? That's possibly. But in any event, as you can see on your screen, or on the screen right now, the two events are 2 hours and 20 minutes away, 163 miles. So, depending on traffic, which is also right at rush hour, all kinds of things, we may not know how long it takes for him to get on. So, we may be here a while. So, get used to it. I played Melania's thing. Let's take some comments. Maybe you guys have some things to talk about, but you're not going to miss it as soon as he walks out there, or somebody, who is going to do the moderation, or if there's some early speakers, maybe we might tune them in. Or we can always just talk about this border stuff that came out. I don't know how many of you are new, meaning new, weren't on the earlier show. We can talk about this. We got some time, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be on stage in 5 minutes, but we'll see. In any event, if you have not heard this news, this is going to blow you away. Absolutely blow you away. Kamala Harris, I don't know if she's been to the border yet, or she's on her way to the border, or if she might want to just cancel and turn around and go back to Washington. But the Border Patrol released some stats today that are absolutely going to terrify you. Terrify you. Listen to this.
The Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States. The letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here, and this is just an unbelievable development. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John. This is America Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of Douglas, Arizona right now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news, what do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket?
You're reading that correctly. Kamala Harris and Dementia Joe have allowed nearly over 13,000 murderers to come across the border. 13,000. Nearly 16,000 SA people who have done unspeakable things to other women and kids, and 425,000 convicts. There is nothing. It was funny, I was watching the 5 during our little break here. There is nothing you can say about this if you're a Democrat. There's no response. There's no retort. You are done. We have unleashed 13,000 murderers into the United States. And she's going to go down there and have the audacity to tell us that she wants to secure the border now? You can kiss my you-know-what. Listen to this.
Docket. It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered, deported from the country by a judge, but are still here roaming the country. So keep that in mind, this non-detained docket. According to a letter that the acting director of ICE just sent to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, on ICE's non-detained docket, they're currently tracking 425,000 non-citizens who have been convicted of a crime. Of that number, over 13,000 non-citizens have convictions for homicide and are on the non-detained docket, meaning they're roaming the country right now. On top of that, there are another 15,811 non-citizens convicted of sexual assault who are...
I want to ask Democrats, I'm sure there's some trolls in here, what the hell do you have to say about this? You can't say it's not true. It came from the Border Patrol and Homeland Security. So let's just take that off. Just shut up if you're going to say it's not true. Are you okay with this? Are you okay putting your family and other people's families in danger in order to get a vote? Because that's what it's all about. We heard her yesterday where she's like, we got to find a way to get these people a path to citizenship, i.e. we need to get them to vote. Are you okay with putting your family, your daughter, your granddaughter in harm's way in order to get a friggin' vote? Shame on you if that's how you feel. I mean, absolutely. Is it worth it that much to you to put so many Americans in danger just so you can try and find a way to beat Donald Trump? If that's how you feel, I pray for your soul. You're an absolute scumbag.
Roaming the country right now on ICE's non-detained docket. It doesn't stop there. Those are convictions. The ICE director also says there are currently just under 1,900 non-citizens on the non-detained docket who have pending homicide charges who are roaming the country, and another 4,250 non-citizens who have pending sexual assault charges who are roaming the country on the non-detained docket. So people's eyes might be glazing over right now with all the numbers we just threw at you. Just to put it in a nutshell right here, what we've learned from the acting ICE director via this letter to Congressman Tony Gonzalez is right now there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of.
Okay, so this guy, Mags K. Sorry, no way that's accurate. If it is, that's a crime. What do you mean if? What do you mean no way it's accurate? You think they just made it up? You think Kamala's organizations, Kamala's agencies, you think they made it up? Because this came from the Border Department. This came from Mayorkas. There's no way that the Border Department decided they were going to type up some fake numbers without it having been exactly verified and approved to be sent out by the Border Department. In case you don't know, the Border Department is under Mayorkas, who is under Merrick Garland, who is under Dementia Joe and Kamala Harris. What do you mean if? These, wait a minute, I'm going to change what I just said to you. You're right, if it's true, because it's probably not true. You know why it's probably not true? Because it doesn't count the ones that got away or snuck in that nobody knows about. It's actually higher. It's not lower, it's higher. So you're actually quite right. No way that's accurate. No, there's no friggin' way this is accurate because it doesn't account for the people who slid in, through the back door under cover of night. God help us.
Homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault, and there are even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault. So this just goes to show, guys, the non-detained docket has exploded under the Biden administration to over, I believe it's 7.3 million. They're anticipating it could hit 8 million by the end of the year. But looking at the numbers on this letter right here, there are currently over 600,000 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket who are either convicted, 600,000 non-citizens on this non-detained docket who are roaming the country right now. Of that, 425,000 have already been convicted of crimes. 222,000 are pending crimes. And again, the most serious crimes we just told you about.
600,000 gigawatts. I feel like the guy inside Back to the Future. What are you talking about? What are you friggin' talking about? What have you Democrats done? What has Kamala Harris and Dementia Joe done to this country? If you're on the other side of the fence and you consider yourself a liberal, I'm a liberal, I'm for, progressive. I pray that someone doesn't climb in little, Jimmy's bedroom tonight. I pray that on your way to the store with your blue hair and your nose rings, that somebody doesn't decide to have their way with you. You're at the gas pump and all of a sudden you're no longer at the gas pump. You're in the woods behind the gas station because some newcomer decided you're easy pickings. And then when it happens, God forbid, because I don't want anybody to have to experience that, I just wonder, will a liberal look and go, man, they made a mistake. They should never have done that. Probably not. That's how brainwashed they are. There's a guy in Springfield or one of those cities over there where a newcomer killed his son. And they interviewed the guy after his son was killed by a newcomer. Do you know what he said? I'll have to find a video because I'm sure some people won't believe what he said. He said, I wish my son had been killed by a white man. What kind of brain foggery, what kind of gaslit, hypnotized zombie do you have to be to wish that the guy who killed your son wasn't a newcomer, but rather would have been a white man? How about your son should be living? How about you don't worry about the color of the person who did your son? How about you just say, you know what? My son should be alive, if not for Kamala Harris and Dementia Joe. But it pains liberals too much. It brings them to the point of desecrating their loved one's body because they would rather be somebody else than a newcomer. We don't want them to use this against us. Oh my God, why couldn't it have been a white man? It should have been a white man that killed little Jimmy. Little Jimmy, I'm sorry you're dead, but you know what? It should have been a white man. You're sick. I swear, that's not a phony story. I didn't make that up right now. The man actually said that because he was afraid what would happen and how people would respond to a newcomer killing his child. These people are sick. They are evil. They are deviant. There's no excuse. And I guarantee you, it wasn't even covered by most of the news stations. That was Fox. Most of the news stations just are ignoring it, like pretending like it didn't even happen. They don't want you to see this. Especially not a month or so before the election. Oh my, and on the day she's going to the border. And you watch, when she gets down there, I bet you not a single person from the press will say, Kamala, yeah, well, we just got this report. No, they won't ask her. Matter of fact, she probably heard these numbers, and they probably already have their strategy. Get out there, speak, say what you have to say, and turn around and turn tail real quick and get out of here before they ask you a question. Because at this point, there's no answer that makes any sense. You can't say, oh, it's Donald Trump's fault because he told his people not to sign this bipartisan bill that would have only let 5,000 criminals in per day. This is the kind of stuff where I say, there's no way. There's absolutely zero way this woman is even close to Trump in the polls. You're watching a complete show. I've said it many times. It's the grand illusion. It's the royal scam, all mixed in together. It's a movie. It's a movie that you should get a refund for because you're paying for it. I forgot that part. Every one of those 600,000 people that have let in, including 13,000 murderers and 15,000 SA people who do bad things to women and kids, you're paying for every single one of them to be here. No refunds. The only way you get your money back is on November 5th. You can choose to live this kind of insanity, or you can get rid of Democrats forever. I don't even mean this election. They need to be voted into obscurity. They have proven to you they do not care about your best interest. They do not care about your family's best interest, your kids' best interest. Midas just said they don't care about the pet's best interest. It's all evil. It is evil run amok. There is not a sane person in this chat or anywhere who would see this video on replay who would say, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, hey, more the merrier. Bring in as many murderers as you can find on the planet, and they should be able to come in. Said nobody. If somebody says that to you, they're lying to your face because they are embarrassed they got behind a candidate who's willing to destroy America. For what reason? God knows why. Who knows? But it's unacceptable, and at this point, this, I've said it many times, but tonight is the biggest time ever for you to go to a window somewhere in a store, walking around in your car, and just go, I am mad as hell and I ain't taking this shit anymore. And then right after you say that, you need to visit the armory. Because you just found out that they doubled the amount of murders in the United States. And at least the ones, for the most part, that we have are in prison. These people are walking around. These are 600,000. They're just walking around in your town. You're paying for them. You're paying for them to kill you. Unless you do something about it. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they just want all hell to break loose. None of it makes any sense. I can't give you a reason why they would do this. I'm sure Trump, he found out before he went on stage when he was in Walker. I'm sure tonight in Warren, it's going to be raised over and over. I'm sure there's going to be a statement or two about this tonight. I don't know what happened to this Democrat Party. It's definitely not the Democrat Party of John F. Kennedy. Definitely not the party of R.F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Sr. Definitely ain't the party of Martin Luther King. So I don't know what you black people are thinking. Martin Luther King would have not been down with this. This is the kind of stuff that Cuba did. But even then, he kicked his nuts out. Why would we be doing the antithesis, the complete opposite of what every other country's doing? You'll take our murderers? Like Trump said, put them on a boat, put them on a plane, send them to America. We're good with that. Thank you, Kamala and Dementia Joe. Who in their right mind says, let's bring in as many criminals as we possibly can? Unless you have the mindset where you're going to turn these people into orcs and then turn them loose on Americans. And then have the audacity, the unmitigated gall, the cojones, to look people in the eye and say, you want to do what with gun control? You want me to lay down mine? You want to do these buybacks? You want to do all kinds of red flags and all this? You can go kiss a you know where. At this point, it should be just the opposite. Every single one of you should be heading to the local show, to the armory, do whatever you need to do. This is not the time to be a pacifist. This is the time to make sure that somebody's not climbing in your daughter's bedroom window while you're trying to sleep or watch Survivor. You want to feel comfortable if you go on a business trip that your wife is home and is safe and that she's protected. And if you're in one of these cities, like New York, where they're getting ready to boot Eric Adams and install a socialist mayor, you only got one choice. Sell everything and get the F out. Don't even try to reason with these people. Don't even try to think for an instant, well, it might not be that bad. If you're on Park Avenue, you're a target. I'm just telling you that right now. If you're walking through the Diamond District and you've got your yarmulke on, you're a target. If you're in the fashion district where Melania herself learned how to model and make money doing that, guess what? Ladies, you're a target. Life in New York City is about to become exactly what the movies have said. It is going to be Snake Plisskenville. Escape from New York while you can. Oh, Barry, you're being overly dramatic. Oh, Barry. I don't know. Maybe as a husband, maybe as a father and a grandfather, I want to make sure. Robin, you okay with this? She already saw it. She's like, hell no. We need to do even more. We live in a gated community with a guard. We live in a guard-gated community. And even she said, let's do some stuff this weekend. I'm not taking any chances. Are you? Is it worth you taking chances when your government is putting you in peril? Are you going to blow it off and say, that's no big deal, it's not happening here? And I've said many times, I'm sure the people in Springfield thought about that. And then all of a sudden, it happened there. And I'm sure people in Aurora thought it. And I'm sure people in that small town in Alabama thought it. And everybody thinks it can't happen here. Well, what if it does? I've always said, the upside takes care of itself. If you're safe and nothing happens, if your alarm doesn't go off at 3 o'clock in the morning, no problem. That's the upside. You've done everything to take care of your upside. You don't have to worry about that. But I want to know, with 13,000 murderers coming across the border, when there's 16,000 people convicted of SA, when there's 600,000 people brought in who've been convicted of who knows what happens at 3 a.m. if you don't have an alarm and you're not protected? Because the downside is devastating. The downside is horrific and terrifying. The downside will change your life forever to a point where you will not be able to look your loved one in the eye the rest of your life. Because right now, you know what has happened. And I would not want to wake up a single day in the rest of my life where I'm looking at my wife, my grandkids, my daughter, my neighbor, and say, I wish I had done something because I knew they let 13,000 murderers in the country and I didn't do anything. I just shrugged it off. God help you if that happens. This isn't America. There's no way any founding father, there's no way any other president, there's no way any other government would stand for this. Maybe we should all go to Moscow or something where people don't allow this stuff, or go to China, because this isn't America anymore. You can't do this stuff in Japan. You can't do it in China. You can't do it in North Korea. You can't do it anywhere in the world. But for some reason, we're supposed to take it that this is the new normal in America. I'm done. I'm so done. We get to pick which kind of civil war do we want. Where do you stand? I wish a troll was in here tonight. I want to see a troll go, no, it's fine, man. You're over exaggerating. All right, well, post your address. Tell us you're not armed. Tell us you have no, alarm. And just put it out there in public, because we all like to know. I'm in Virginia. We ready. We ready in Texas. We're in South Florida. We're ready too. This is insane and scary. Yeah, it is. It's very insane and very scary. A newcomer murdered a family of 4 where I live in New York. The kids were 2 and 4 years old. The parents were 24 and 36. And it's sad because I never heard that. They don't even, that's how bad the media is right now. They will hide this. They will hide any of these stories about this happening in people's communities. But God knows they screamed when J.D. Vance and some other people were talking about cats and dogs being, oh my God, they're talking about the dogs and cats and pets being eaten. That was a national news story. Every station ran about the cats and dogs. How about the people coming across the border that are murderers? You don't want to talk about that, though, huh? Okay. Yep. Own nothing and be happy if you survive. If you survive, that is. Man, it's gang time, no matter what color. America only. Yeah. I think this is why we're going to see some people really flip over to the Republican voting. At this point, it's not a Democrat and Republican thing. It's evil versus good. What kind of country do you want? I would much rather stand toe-to-toe with a Democrat and argue about policy than argue about 13,000 murderers being dropped in. East Tennessee Mountain Man, so I know what that means. Well, I'm glad I live in Arizona. I can open carry or conceal carry, and if they came to my house, I will do what I got to do, and you know what that is. Yep. Yes, I do. I'm in Tennessee, and Tennessee is ready. Good for you. Texas, Texas got God, guns, and the redneck side a mile wide. Newcomers, don't mess in Arizona. Everyone is packing here. The wild. Same thing down here. Same thing with Florida. I've said it before in one of my videos. I said, the bad guys understand. Watch out who you think is a victim, because there's a good chance, especially now, that everyone you run across got something for you. So be very careful. That's why and it's funny, you still see the same stuff happen in the hood. Yeah, of course, they're going to shoot each other because of territory and everything else. That's pretty much anywhere in the country. But y'all make sure you keep that shit in the hood. You want to go ahead and act a fool, do it there. Do it there. I have no problem. What's this say? I have no problem taking them. Bang, no problem. Try it. I live in Pennsylvania. A lot of poo-poos in Pennsylvania as well. If God had been invited to every aspect of our lives, as our country's original Constitution had written, we're one nation under God. Well, they made a good move there, didn't they? Taking it out of schools, making sure the schools knew not to do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore, made sure not to open with a morning prayer, bringing in Transformers. Perfect. You made it a perfect decision, didn't you? So it's 6:17, looking at the stage, ain't nothing happening. I told you, it's going to be a long night. They will attack the vulnerable. But everyone's vulnerable, unless you're not. You see, there could be a guy walking down the street. I mean, I've seen the videos in New York where they just walk up, punch some guy in the face. Just complete sucker punch. The guy walks past him, he waits till he gets past him, comes up behind him, and punches him in the face. So now you got to walk, and as you pass somebody, you got to check him out, make sure he's not doubling back. Don't be vulnerable. Pay attention. And it's so sad. It is so sad, because people in America should not, no, people anywhere, no one should have to live in a constant state of defense. I didn't say fear, because I ain't living in fear. But a constant state in defense when you're sitting down in a restaurant and you want to make sure that you're sitting so you can face the door, so you can see who comes in. The old Jesse James thing. You don't want to be in a dead man's seat where you're facing away from the door where something can happen. I do that now. I walk into a restaurant and there's an exit, there's the door. I feel like one of these guys in a movie at this point when I walk into places. You have to basically get that kind of sense at this point. And it sucks with me because my wife likes to face the door too, because she used to live in New York. I'm like, nah. I want to see every person coming into this joint. I want to see their access. I want to see what they're wearing. I want to see if they're carrying something. And I want to be able to see them from a distance. So I don't want to be close to the door. And she knows that we go into a restaurant and like, no, I'm not sitting here. We want to be over there. I want to see the people coming towards me so that we have time to react. Do it yourself. You go into a restaurant and they want to seat you right by the door, and especially with your back to the door, I ain't sitting there. I want to be over there, facing the door, and I want to be able to see all exits and egress and ingress. That way I can sit here and go, okay, so if something happens, I can get the wife out this door, I can see where the threat is, and we can figure out what we're going to do at that point. I told you a story when I went to North Carolina and we took the girls to lunch, the two grandkids. And one of them, her stomach wasn't feeling good, so she had to go to the bathroom. And it was funny. I'm sitting across from Robin. Robin looks at me, and we both looked down, where the bathroom hall was. I'm like, am I going or you going? She goes, I'll go. Want to make sure there's no back door over there where somebody can come in and snatch her. So she went in, she took a look at the restaurant, the back door area, make sure everything was good. And I'm facing the front door, so I see it was only one way in. Since I know there's no door near the bathroom, I understand that the other exit was over there, so I can see anybody coming in. If they decided to take a turn and go down the hallway to where she was in the bathroom, especially if it was a transformer, I go, oh, hey, that's not going to happen right now, bud. No, you're going to have to wait. You're not going in there. At this point, that stuff is not dramatic. I'm talking to you guys right now. You're going to have to protect what's yours. You're going to have to make sure your family is protected at all times. You're going to go to the mall, you're going to go to the movie theater, whatever you're doing. Supermarket. Park where you can see stuff. This is some serious stuff. I cannot even imagine. Somebody wrote in the show earlier that right now in the entire country, there are 23,000 murderers in jail across all 50 states. They just let in 13,000. They almost put in half of what we have in prison loose in the country. 13,000, and that's just what we know of. So am I being over dramatic? You know what? If you think so, that's fine. I'm fine with being over dramatic. I'm fine if I'm going into over defense, if I'm going down to DEFCON 1. Because you know why? I want to wake up the next morning knowing this woman is right next to me. Christina Lopez says, SOB newcomers, why don't you just go home? That's what, as your top, what's that say? Are you too good for your home? Answer me. Oh, she a little angry. Good. We need to be angry. We need to be very angry. Our only hope is in Jesus Christ alone. Yep, absolutely. Don't worry, Barry. We'll stick with you even if you go past lunchtime. Let's see here. Yep, President Trump was right. Venezuela is probably safer to live in right now. They send them all over here. He just got confirmed. He almost had like the catbird eat the canary look on his face. I wonder if he knew they were going to drop that information today. That's crazy. Yeah, we are not China. Nope. Not at all. I carry a S&W 357 and a Burma non-lethal at all times. Burma, it's like a laser gun that I hear it on Sean Hannity all the time. Let those in prison take out the new ones. That would be the case if they were in prison, but they're not putting them in there. They just let them loose. It wasn't like, hey, listen, we let in 13,000 and we put them in our prison to basically hold them until we can see what's going on. It was, stamp, okay, you're free to go. They did a Southwest commercial. You're free to move about the country. Oh, you need some money? Here you go. Imagine that. Oh, so, Fred, yeah. Looks like you've killed a few people. Yes, I did. And you were in prison where you come from. Yes, I was. All right. Thanks. Show up in court in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, a year. Thank you very much. Why would somebody do that? Why would you see somebody who you know what their background is? And you look and ask and you verify. So you've killed people, yeah. Okay, well, here's $1,000 on this, EBT card or whatever. Have fun. Go about your business. Hey, well, here's a plane ticket. Here's a plane ticket to, I don't know, Springfield, Ohio. Good luck. It's crazy. Wow, this just popped up in front of me, so I'm going to put it up right now. James Wilson, thank you very much. 10th grade dropout, went military, first in family to retire. Axis is there. Kamala always been. Yep, they're just waltzing across. Thank you very much, James. That's amazing of you. Amazing. They are building their civilian national force that Obama spoke about. I believe that. Let's see here. Boss lady says, crazy Catman, I shot one at the range and it jarred my dang teeth, Braid. I felt like I was weed eating for hours. What was it, boss lady? What were you practicing with? Harris said it. Many people have said, if you guys don't understand that word, which, again, I'm probably not allowed to say, you should start looking that up as well. The elite want us gone. They are using criminals, poison food, the pandemic, planned food famine. They do not care. There was a video. I was trying to get some more information on the guy who made it, and I was also trying to verify the strike. But they're saying there's going to be some sort of seaport strike right about October 1st, which is 4 days. Is that still trending or still out there? Seaport strike. Did they solve it today, or is it not being talked about? Because seaport strike. Yeah, it's still pending. It's still pending. So there is a seaport. Okay, I want you guys to see this because this is really important. And it has something to do with what we're talking about right now. I'm still looking at the stage. Nobody at all has come out yet. Let me show you this. Okay. Bingo. Why are the seaports going on strike? What are the key issues in their labor dispute? The dispute involves a contract covering tens of thousands threatened to strike at ports from Massachusetts to Texas if a new labor deal isn't reached before the contract expires at midnight on September 30th. First strike since 1977. What do you think happens if all the ports from Massachusetts to Texas are closed? I want you to really think about that. September 30th. So we're talking, today's the 27th. So we're talking Monday. On Monday, all of the seaports, barring some sort of negotiation, could be on strike from Massachusetts to Texas, across Florida. What do you know what happens at that point? Maybe that's why that Marine who was working with the FBI gave you a serious warning. Maybe if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch that video. Watch to the end when you hear him give the warning. And in that warning, he says, and I don't quote, but I'll paraphrase, make sure you got your poo-poo, you got your ammo, and you've got 3 to 4 months worth of food. Make sure your car has gas in the tank, and then you've got additional gas as well. Because if the seaport goes down, all hell could break loose. And I watched the video where a guy went through it. And he's like, if a seaport is closed for this period of time, here's what will happen. If the seaport's closed for this period of time, here's what will happen. If the seaport is closed for 7 to 10 days, here's what will happen. If we get to that 10-day mark and they haven't reopened the seaports, all hell is going to break loose. I mean, they'll probably have to drain the strategic reserves where they've drained it before and they refilled it. But if they drain that, that might stave off something for a little while. But then, how does everything else get off those ships? How do those ships come into port? How do those ships that have basically everything from food to clothing to gasoline, oil, it all shuts down? Could you live without food for, 10 days? Just asking. When you go into your local grocery store and they're like, you remember what happened during the Jabberoo, right? You remember walking in and there was like no toilet paper. What do you mean there's no toilet paper? No toilet paper. People just made a run on the toilet paper. Hint, hint, start buying some toilet paper now. You're not going to waste your money because it's a consumable item. You're going to need it eventually. Start buying now. I would go to the store today and get 10, 20 rolls, and then go in a couple days get 10 or 20 rolls, because Monday, if these people go on strike, shit's going to hit the fan. Let me just be the first to tell you, since nobody else is saying it. There are so many things depending upon what happens in that port. And so now, if that happens, which I wouldn't wait until the 30th to find out, but if that happens, if they don't negotiate a deal and these guys go on strike, and you know there's 13,000 murderers, 16,000 people have done bad things to women, and they're all loose, they got to eat. They got to eat. They've already shown that they're willing to, take you out. They'll do whatever they can to eat. We could be on the verge of Mad Max. Why would a 22-year Marine who works at the FBI tell you, get 3 months of food ready? Enoch says, if you prepare now, you will not be panicking later. Proactive rather than reactive. How many of you didn't even know that? How many of you didn't hear it on any news that there was a massive seaport strike right around the corner? We heard about the hurricane for 4 or 5 days. Anyone talking about there being a seaport strike? You heard it before? Robin found it. She's like, hey, what do we do? Okay, we know what we need to do. Yep, go to a sporting goods store and buy dehydrated food. Yep, I just spoke about the new ICE report. That's why we're talking about here. Invest in a bidet that fits atop your toilet bowl. Save on toilet paper. Yeah, don't panic. Somebody said, don't panic now. Where'd that go? That was pretty good. Yeah. Don't panic. Just go out and get what you need for at least several months and don't tell anyone. Great idea. Hey, wow, you guys having a party, a toilet paper party? You having a laxative party? Yeah, we don't know who's going to win the laxative race. Yeah, okay. Call your doctor. You got a prescription? Yeah. Call your doctor and say, hey, listen, can you give me like a month's worth now, if it's allowed? Can I get some extra on this? Because I'm not sure if anything's going to be on, if we're going to have, the ability to live. Barry, you're being doomsday-ish. Am I? Am I being doomsday-ish? A week ago, did you think somebody would be walking around with surface-to-air missiles and wanting to take out President Trump? Or was that, was that far-fetched? Was that a movie? And then you find out, yeah, there's guys walking around with surface-to-air missiles trying to take down Trump's jet. You're living in a movie. Think about when you watch Mad Max and something. Oh, that's funny. That's a movie. Mel Gibson and Tina Turner. Oh, one man enter, two man enter, one man leave. Oh yeah, it's funny, huh? Oh, it's sci-fi. You're in a sci-fi. You are living in a sci-fi movie right effing now. You are watching a woman who has no business being a president. None. No, not this much of a qualification. But it's happening. You're watching 13,000 murderers come across the border. That sounds like Purge. Sounds like Escape from New York. But it's happening in real life. So when you tell me, Barry, you're overreacting, I'm like, well, I'm seeing this crazy ass shit. I'm seeing it. I'm living it. I'm looking where people are saying there is a massive seaport strike on the horizon. Don't think it can't happen. What would you do? Again, the upside takes care of itself. Nothing happens, you got some extra toilet paper. If nothing happens, you got some extra food in the garage. Right? You're good. Shit happens, you're ready. Like this woman says, don't panic, just get it done. Go get the gas. Go get the food. Be ready. Oh, nothing happened. We're good. Honey, we won't have to buy toilet paper for a month or two. Good. That's all it means. So I'd rather be ready than not ready. And you definitely want to be ready with something like that. As Robert says, you definitely want to get some poo-poo. I say poo-poo because sometimes you can't say the words of poo-poo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let's see here. What was that? I heard. Where is that? I heard about the possible strike a week ago. Been working on preps. Smart woman. Smart woman. Are you working on it? Be serious. Look yourself in the mirror and look around your house and say, "Oh, there's my little dog who's on his back with his feet up. I got food for little Midas here. Robert, am I okay with the wife?" Exactly. The devil is in the White House. It's crazy. Here's someone who knows something. Build a Faraday cage for your electronics to protect them from an EMP. Now, see, excuse me for a second. He went way down that road. He's talking about be safe with an EMP. Now he doomsday scenario. This gentleman Joe, he just went to the next level. Many of you may not know what an EMP is. It's when everything goes and there's no electricity and you can't do anything, or a pulse. I don't know what to think. We are in uncharted territory. We got Iranian assassins. We got our inept social secret service. We got people crawling through bushes and waiting 12 hours to shoot Trump on a golf course. We got people who didn't do their job in Butler on July 13th. We got Kamala, who's completely fake. We got a guy who's got dementia who pretends to be the president. We're in a whole different world right now. I can't make sense of anything. Every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, that sounds stupid. Oh, like, that couldn't happen. Oh, well, maybe it could. And then we find out now, on top of everything else, there's 13,000 extra murderers running around free. Bet you didn't have that on your bingo card. Bet you there was no way you thought to yourself, my government let 600,000 convicts free throughout my country. There is no way you had that on your bingo card. There is no way you said to yourself, you know what, out of that 600,000, 4%, what is it, 13,000. So about 3%, 2.5% of those people are murderers. 16,000 of them did stuff to women. And your government said it's okay? I'm sure you didn't have that on your bingo card. Nope, didn't have it. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yes, an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse. It fries your vehicle too. You'll be driving down the road and poof, just roll into it. That's it. None of this makes sense. None of it. None of it. I wish I could make sense of it for you. And I wish I had a tinfoil hat on. I wish this was all a conspiracy theory. I wish it was something that people were making up. But it's not. This isn't Alex Jones territory. This is actual stuff that our government is doing. Not some guy in a tinfoil hat making up crazy stuff, even though most of his stuff has come true. This is coming from our government. And that's why I said earlier, I'd love to see someone on the left defend this. I would never have imagined that our government would put us Americans in a situation like this. And now they're not talking about it, other than the report coming out. They're not giving us any solutions. And the only person talking about it really, I mean, you heard the story there, but the only person who's trying to get the word out with his megaphone is Trump. I mean, the guy he's a half hour late now, but I told you he was probably going to be late coming from the other event. But this is the only guy, and that's why they want to take him out. This is the only guy saying, I told you. I told you they were emptying out their jails. Oh, Donald Trump, he's being misinformation, disinformation. Oh, he's such a liar. Really? He's telling you what he knows because he's got contacts, he's a president, blah, blah, blah. And he told you they're emptying out their jails. They're sending them all here. And today, the Border Department tells you, yep, that's true. I got a bingo over here. Coffee beans, that's something I didn't think of storing. Those equal money. Yeah. Oh, and this is, in villain here, you're absolutely right. That's probably the worst part about it. It's not like they said, Kamala went to the border and I got a message from Joe, shut it down. No, that didn't happen. Or hasn't happened. It won't happen. They're like, okay, so you found out. Yeah, you found out what's going on. Sorry. Not sorry. Keep it rolling. I could almost understand if she went as a presidential candidate and said, listen, I've seen this report today. I cannot believe what I saw. So here's what we're going to do. Joe told me to deliver a message. We're going to shut it down. Because at this point, that would be the only thing she could do, in my mind, to save her candidacy. But we know that's not going to happen. And as Villain says, they're just flying them in. Come on, keep coming. Our government. Righteous people keep praying it. Yep, absolutely. Kamala needs a taste. And so that, I don't know if you guys saw, they had her husband on television this morning. Husband. And he was talking about how masculinity was a problem. They don't want women protected. They want effeminate people surrounding women. It's evil. Absolutely evil. Questions. With EMPs, would the magnetic part of it affect someone with heart stents? Great question. I don't know, but I'm sure there's somebody in here that could answer that question. If you know, you want to answer Miss Pamela's question here, would an EMP affect someone with a heart stent? That is a great question. Great question. I'm looking right now, Pamela, to see if anybody knows anything about that. I'll come back. I'll keep looking. Barry, I'm having trouble getting by right now. How am I going to get extra stuff to prepare? I would talk to a food bank near you. I would contact somebody like Patriot Supply and see if they've got some sort of program that they can help you out with. Patriot Supply is just one of them. They're not a sponsor. I'm just saying the name. But I would start with the food bank. Food bank's only job is to help people in bad situations. Now, they'll definitely help you out because they do it for free. They're not going to charge you. But what you need to do is make sure that you get the right stuff from them. Don't go in and buy, get donuts and perishables. Tell them, yeah, I like the canned soup and I like this and that and the other thing, and make sure it's boxed because unless you have a grill, you're not going to be able to make anything, conceivably. So don't buy stuff that's perishable, and don't get stuff from them. I didn't mean buy. Don't get stuff from them even if they offer it to you. If you're looking at it from a prep situation, get stuff that you can yourself. Robin, when she started prepping, she did a bunch of stuff. She bought dry goods like rice and pasta. And you're like, well, Barry, how do you do that? Well, we got a propane tank and we have a propane grill. So we could put a pot and boil water and, have pasta. Can some sauces. Do some things like you should have that anyway. I mean, we live in a hurricane state. So you down here you prep no matter what because of what could happen at any time with a hurricane. People in the West Coast are figuring that out right now. Power goes out. Who knows how long it's going to take until the power comes back on the west side of Florida for some of those people. Most of them, provided they weren't washed out, I'm sure have prep materials to hold you over. I'm sure they've got bottled water. I'm sure they've got canned goods. Because you just know to do that down here. You know to have batteries. You know to have lanterns, things of that nature. So we have a jump on it. Those of us who live near the coast, we've had to go through it so many times. You learn after your first or second hurricane. I can't even tell you which number I'm on. Once you get past your first or second hurricane, you know, okay, here's what could happen. We could be down for 5 or 6 days, and it's property agnostic. I don't care if you're in a gazillion-dollar property. You're in the same boat, unless, of course, you went ahead and bought a generator. If you bought a generator and you hook that up to your house, you're sitting pretty for a while until the gas runs out. But in any event, those are the things that we had to learn: flashlights, batteries, propane, things that that you're going to need to live comfortably. Little baby generator. I've got a couple different generators. We got one that's no bigger than a small television, and that little generator would run on solar for a good day or two, or just keep repeating it. Put it outside, and the solar generator will run. Get that kind of stuff. Yep. Somebody said where was that? Because I want to put that up. Oh, somebody just mentioned that Patriot Supply, you can make payments by the month. Okay, so you can get on some sort of plan and begin paying by the month to make sure. Somebody says buy seeds. Do you remember what happened when we went through the Jabiru? The Jabiru started, and Michigan, what's her name, Gretchen Whitmer, locked up seeds. What does that have to do with the Jabiru? Why would you lock up seeds? Doesn't make any sense to me. She did, because they knew what would happen. They don't want you prepping. Till all of your neighbors want to hook up extension cords. Sorry, that ain't gonna happen. I watched on Court TV. The police officers have video camera where they had a woman who had just finished having a buffet with a kitty. Yeah. Toilet paper. You know what's funny? Until it happened, that was the one product I never knew we need to stock up on. It's you take it for granted. Hey, listen, we're running low. We need to head to the store and go buy some. Okay. And you get there and it's like, what do you mean there's none? There's no paper towels? No. Napkins? Nope. Facial tissue? Kleenexes? Nope. And that's when you start realizing, oh man, this is bad. And you go from store to store to store hoping you could find a couple rows. Or then you get to the store and look, guys, we got a ration, you get one roll. I'm like, well, dude, I'm a big guy. What am I supposed to do? Dig a ditch? I ain't kidding. Anyway, do what you need to do. It's all about control. Yeah, they can control your food supply. They own you. They absolutely own you. Barry Cunningham, Major Hurricane Helene was identical to what we just had back in 1958. Even landfall was exactly the same. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Very crazy, actually. Why did they lock up Spam in New York City? Good point. I didn't know they did. You're telling me something. So they put Spam behind a lockup window. Oh my God! What are we turning into when you can't buy Spam? Oh, man. I got Dems on this channel. Well, we got the mods in here. You know what? This is one of those shows as they're waiting for Trump that should let them embarrass themselves. There is no possible way you can defend these criminals being let free in America. None. Zero. I would love to see one of them who had said, no, that's okay. It's fine. Wow. It said Whitmer locked up paint and lumber too. Yeah, because painting your house, you could spread the Jabiru stuff. Oh, God. Flushable wipes work too. Yeah, I got mine from work. Shh. Don't tell people the secret. You know how they do? They put the rolls inside the thing and everything. And people who were at where I worked at the time were doing the same thing. They were just taking the backup rolls out of the thing. It's funny. Corn cobs. Make a simple. I haven't heard this. Where'd that go? Somebody said make a simple first aid kit too. Make sure you get some extra Band-Aids. Probably they locked him up because it was too easy to steal. She thinks she's talking about the spam. Let's see here. Doug Latrine's. This is Doug Latrine's in the service. I guess I can do it again. I'll tell you what. I think I've mentioned it before. Coming down here. Oh, what's Trump saying? Is this a commercial? Wait a second.
Ballot is secure and your voice is heard. Many Republicans like to vote on Election Day, and we must swamp the radical Democrats with massive turnout on Tuesday, November 5th. The way you win is to swamp them. If we swamp them, they can't cheat. It just doesn't work out. But if you can't make it, you need to make a plan, register, and vote any way possible. We got to get your vote. So with your vote, we will win a victory the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. That's what it's going to go down as. Thank you.
Not sure why they aired that, but they maybe just to kill some time as everybody's waiting for him. But he's still not there. Georgia ready to clickety clack clack. You know what that means, right? He's talking about the poo poo as well. He said he's ready. I have miles of woods. See, if you got miles of woods, you're like that's the equivalent of being in South Florida. You got miles of woods and you got a poo poo. You're gonna eat. It might be a hedgehog. Might be a squirrel, but you're gonna eat. Same thing down here. We got so much water, you can go stick a pole in something and pull something up. You're gonna eat. In addition, as I mentioned many times, having fruit trees in your backyard. We've got avocados and mangoes right here. Next door neighbor has grapefruits. So we're gonna eat. It may not be what you want, but get a fish, fillet that fish, throw it on the grill, throw some citrus on it, and you're gonna eat. People in some places can't do that, but if you're out there and you got lots of woods behind you, yeah, you're gonna eat. You're gonna find yourself a wild boar or something. Let's see here. Do not forget to buy lots of water. 1 gallon. What's that? 1 gallon per person per day. That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water. Start stacking up. Go to. Well, I was going to say Publix. Go to your local grocery store and buy those big 5 gallon things. In fact, just make sure those are available in the store. I hate even talking about doomsday type scenarios, but it is what it is. We went down this road because of what we found out tonight. We found out that our government let in 600,000 criminals. And some people knew that there was a seaport shutdown coming. Don't know if it happens, don't know if it doesn't. But I would be remiss in not asking you or telling you that you need to be prepared just in case. Don't want you to go into the weekend, watch some football on Friday and Saturday, tonight, Saturday and Sunday, and then wake up Monday and go, oh, there's a port shortage, closures. They're not working in the ports anymore, so what you see on the shelves is pretty much going to be it. Especially if we're importing stuff because America's not making anything. So unless it's made in America, everything, just look on your desk. Look around your table. Unless it says made in America, it's coming over on a boat. And if it's coming over on a boat and things shut down on the first, then you can't get any more of those things. Man, my dad will need to let a ton of water because most dehydrate items take 2.5 quarts to rehydrate those items. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we're talking about preparedness, somebody asked. I've been down this road for a long time. Tried to take others with me. I was called a loon. Yeah. Been there too. They called us all names. But this time, this is where it's different. This time, as I just said a little while ago, this isn't Alex Jones with a tinfoil hat saying stuff. This isn't a bunch of people following that 17th letter and saying the guy at the 17th letter said this or that. This isn't people in the shadows telling you stuff. It's not some guy on Twitter, somebody in a Facebook group. Nope, none of that. It's your government. That's where the difference is right now. Your government is telling you they let in 600,000 crazies. And your government is telling you, as of tonight, they don't have a solution for the port closures. So it's going to happen Monday night, midnight. I mean, that would be Sunday night, midnight. Monday morning, midnight. A lot of shipping orders will be hard to get. Notice this is coming right as it's getting cold up north. You know, it's getting like, I lived in Connecticut. I knew that you could basically set your wardrobe by the calendar. Because right about September 15th, it starts getting a little chill in the air in Connecticut. And about October, it's getting, I'm going to have to put a sweater on, maybe even a heavy sweater. And then, come November, you got to start buying that heating oil. Because things get kind of serious. So imagine most of the country, just imagine this. Oh, Barry, you're being a survivalist now. Imagine this. This thing happens for any extended period of time, and it goes into November. And people can't get heating oil. Just dwell on that. If you live in Michigan, or put it this way, if you live north of Virginia, what's going to happen if you can't get any heating oil? Can't blame your landlord. Landlord's going to like, hey, I didn't turn off the heat. There is no heat. I ain't got no oil. I lived in Connecticut. I know how cold it can get. I know what can happen. Let's just pray that it doesn't. Let's pray that they come up with something and they give these people in the seaport what they want. Let's hope that the government's not behind it, because the scenario of what could happen thereafter is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And that's what they said about that country over there, bad cold, but they still got money. Yeah, they gave it all away. That's what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said. Can you imagine if we didn't give them another $8 billion, what you could have been doing? Exactly. 4 cases of spam delivered yesterday. For 4 cases, what's it say? 4 cases, 120 rolls of toilet paper, already stocked cans of green beans, spinach, beets, 240 cans. Damn, dude, you was ready. You got seriously ready, Dennis. Wow. I lived in Kenosha, Wisconsin one time. Holy cow. Yeah, it can get cold. These people tonight are all in Warren, Michigan. I'd love for Trump to say, hey, what y'all going to do if come Monday they stop the heating oils? Buy it now. Stock up, fill up that tank, get all 1,000 gallons, whatever you need to do. It's going to get nuts. Ooh, voting goes out the window. Whew. Ooh, man. Now you're going to someplace I wasn't even thinking. Yeah. Imagine that. Was this... I don't even... You got me speechless at this point. Now you're talking and going to November 5th, which is only, 40 days away. Man. So I'm still watching the crowd. It is 6:58. Trump isn't there. Didn't figure he'd get there on time. I knew it because of the distance. This is making me angry. I didn't tell you this to make you angry. I'm just telling you so you have the information. And I'm telling you the information because other than Fox running that story, and I watched it right after with the guys on at 5, and they were livid about it, I don't know if the other stations are going to tell people about 600,000 criminals being let into the country. I don't know if the news stations are going to begin talking about this seaport closure. It is 7 o'clock on a Friday evening. So all the major anchors, they're done for the weekend. They're gone. And there'll be some college football games tonight that'll get people's attention. And tomorrow at noon, all the way through Monday. Monday night, actually. Because you got every game, they'll start at noon. They'll play all day, all night. Then Sunday, people will get up and get ready for the NFL. That'll play all day, all night. And then Monday, people will go to work. And then you got Monday Night Football. And Tuesday, people might pay attention and go, what do you mean the port's closed? And no one between now and then, are telling people, like I said, the upside can take care of itself. What are you going to do when the shit hits the fan? You better thank a union member. Oh God, that was so funny when she said that crap. Oh my God, that's too much, man. You're funny. So I'm seeing people in the audience. They're getting a little bit restless, but how much longer? I couldn't tell you. As I showed you earlier, Trump had to go. It was a two and a half hour trip during rush hour from Walker, Michigan to Warren, Michigan, if he was driving the motorcade. If he was flying, I don't know which jet he has, or a helicopter, so there's no way of telling. And in fact, I don't know if you saw my first show, he told people, I'm going to be late. I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. So he's, at this point, an hour late. I don't know who came up with this logistics to basically do two events in one day, 2.5 hours apart. But nonetheless, he's coming. Place is packed. Nobody's leaving, despite what the the news may say. It's packed in there. I'm looking around, and what's really interesting is when he does these town halls, you'd think that there'd be, I don't know who the moderator is, but there's nobody else on the stage. Well, actually, no, there's 3 people on the stage, but I don't see who the moderator might be. The people keep looking towards the area where the runway where he would walk out, and he has not walked out. Don't forget prayers for missing children. Absolutely. He must be driving over. Yeah, if the motorcade's coming over, even with them blocking exits and everything else, that could turn into a nightmare as well. I mean, having the rolling lockouts and making sure he's safe as you're driving. I don't even know what that road looks like between Walker and Warren, and how many different things they have to block off. It could get crazy. Trump, take all the time that you need. I'd be sending out decoys if I was Trump. Maybe they did. Maybe they have different motorcades taking different routes and different things. He is very good. He's had a very busy day. Yes, he has. Trump must be safe at all costs. I'm looking at the people. They're frustrated. Who knows how long they've been there? I mean, if you've never been to a Trump rally, you have to get there hours in advance just to get a seat. And these people, looking at the cops, everybody, yeah, I can show you. Hold on, let me turn the sound off.
Hope that you guys appreciate everything here.
All right, so you're looking at the crowd right now, and everybody is basically waiting, looking down that ramp into that black curtain to see if he comes out. But as of right now, nothing. Nobody's left. The arena is packed, and everyone's just waiting for him to walk out and onto the stage. But nothing as of yet. And as soon as he comes out, I will surely we will cut to it. Nothing. Wow, it's at least Jet says it's at least 3 hours from, if he drove from that one in Walker, Michigan to Warren, Michigan. And that's if he got off stage, immediately got into the motorcade, and immediately headed east to Warren. So, and then make sure there was nothing on the road, no accidents, no. He's probably going to fire whoever booked these two things so close. If you knew the man was going on stage at 2 o'clock, and you knew he was going to talk for 2 hours, how in the hell did you book an event 3 hours away? That would never have happened. Randy says, my Patriot supplies MREs last 25 years. And MRE, if I can remember, is meal ready to eat. I think that's what it's called. And that's like what soldiers have and stuff. They're just a pack, and you just eat them. Not the best tasting stuff probably, but it'll get you some nutrients. Barry, thank you for keeping us informed. We can't vote because of the strike. Will that be a reason to declare martial law? I don't know if that would be a reason to declare martial law, but how about 13,000 murderers running loose, wreaking havoc? That would be a reason to call martial law. 13,000? Who knows if they're weaponized? Yeah, that would be a problem if it wasn't safe for people to go anywhere and they had to call out things. How about us staying on subject and keep rooting for Trump? We can't worry about the what ifs right now. Debbie, that's where you're wrong. And I think a lot of people would tell you. I'll say it one more time. The upside is nothing to worry about. Nothing happens, you're fine. The downside is what you have to plan for. And what you just said there, I can't worry about what ifs right now. When would you worry about what ifs? When it happens, it's too late. Again, treat it as though there's a Cat 5 hurricane coming at your house. There's a Cat 5 hurricane right off the coast and it's churning and it's coming right at you. Would you tell your family at this point, I can't worry about if it might hit us? I don't know, maybe we're different down here because we know to start tracking storms when they start coming off the Lesser Antilles. And we're like, where is it? Oh, it's coming this way. Oh, we're tracking it. Looks like the models have it coming towards Florida. All right. Oh, it went down and went under the Gulf. But when it starts heading towards Florida, that's when we start planning. We will go out and we will get food. We will get batteries, everything you possibly need. Make sure the cars are gassed. Make everything. And then when it goes south and comes up around the Gulf of Mexico, we're like, okay, so we're stacked and ready for the next one because we already took care of business. You can't wait until the storm's on you. It's too late. Stores close, people get out of town, and then you're screwed. So I wouldn't do that if I was you. You can make your, okay, this is Army Vet Girl. You can make your own MREs for a fraction of the cost. Tons of vids on YouTube. Thank you, Army Vet Trump Girl. Thank you very much. They keep focusing on the tunnel. It's funny. They're hoping he walks out any second. But here, you guys can see it. Nothing as of yet. But we have our first speakers. Looks like, hold on.
Join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah, I am muted. I didn't want to talk through her sound. My bad. All right, so here we go. We still got nothing. They're still talking. Some people up on the stage. Waiting to see what happens. Nope, he's not out yet. But they must be getting ready to start this thing. I know I didn't hit the button after. I didn't want to interrupt her singing, and so I was trying to do the right thing, so I didn't make any noise while she was singing, and then of course I forgot to hit the button. So my bad. We're back. Okay, y'all can tell me saying we're back on. We're back on. Okay. This little light of mine, Barry, no sound. We're okay, man. We're okay. We're back. Nicely done. I forgot to hit the button. Yeah, I forgot to hit the little button again. But I didn't want her to be interrupted. So in any event, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now that she has sang the national anthem and she did a great job, let's assume that Trump is not too far away. Where's my light? This was the one time I forgot to hit the button and turn the light on. It's it's right here. I forgot to turn it on. I have it right in front of me so that when you hit the mute, you hit the light. That way you know if the light's on, the microphone's not. But my bad. This is live. Sometimes I mess up, but I can own up to that. So anyway, where were we? Sound good now? Well, I didn't want to interrupt where. Yeah. It comes, oh damn, you went there. It comes with age. Oh, that's too funny. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Since we're waiting on Trump, he's taking so long, and I don't want you guys to wait any longer than you have to. I gave away a hoodie earlier today, and so right now, let's just go ahead while we're waiting for him to give another one away. So we gave one to Faith Taylor earlier today. Faith Taylor, great. She's getting hers. Let's see who the next one is. Pick another winner. Boom. And so do a live draw. You ready for this? Let's pick another winner. And Belinda Engler. Belinda Engler, you have won a hoodie. Let me write her name down. Belinda Engler. Belinda Engler, you've won a Trump hoodie. Either Ashley or myself will be getting a hold of you and getting your size and address and all that stuff. So just gave it away. Those of you, we may do another one next week when Trump gets back and starts doing more rallies. All right. So I'm not sure if she's in here. I forgot to email. Yeah, you just got to sign up. Do we have to re-enter? Nope. If you're already in there, you're already in there. Well, I would love a hoodie. You love a hoodie? Well, go ahead and sign up. By the way, let me put that up as well. A lot of people were asking for it earlier. If you guys want to enter to win a hoodie, just simply go to fanfareshop.org. There it is. Just copy it down. Go there while we're waiting for Trump, and you'll be able to enter to win a hoodie. When I'm done with the hoodies, I'll probably start with some t-shirts and some other fun stuff, maybe like a gift certificate to Buffalo Wild Wings or something. We'll get you guys something going on. I want to basically engage people and give you guys as much opportunity to win something as possible. Now that I got my software put together, now understand, it was off last night. That's why some of you guys couldn't enter. It's open right now. It's open, I believe, till, let me just check. When's it open till? Because I turn it off when we're not giving away. Let me see here. It's open until midnight tonight. So jump on, get in there, and register to win a hoodie. I am in the chat. Oh, there you are. There you are. Belinda Engler. You win. You're the winner of the hoodie tonight. Fantastic that you're here. I love it when you're actually here so people can congratulate you. But that's Belinda. She just won a hoodie. Belinda, either myself or Ashley will email you probably tomorrow and get your information so we can get that out to you. But congrats. Very good. I just saw myself. Oh God, it's funny. I can't believe he's coming to my city. Are you in Warren? Is that where you are right now? Yes. Congratulations to Belinda. Can we buy a hoodie? Not yet. We will be very soon. Barry, I wish I could give money to you, but thanks to a commie Kamala tax rates, I can't love to give money. All right. Never, ever, 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 ever feel bad. I'm one of those guys. I don't know if you go to different people's, channels. I never tell you about a Patreon. I never tell you about some PayPal thing. I don't. That's not what I do. If people give, it's out of their own fruition. I mean, you want to do it, you do it. If you don't do it, doesn't matter. Still want you to come and watch the videos. That's what's most important. Congrats to Belinda. Belinda, they're all saying thank you to you. Oh, there's Belinda. Belinda says thank you as well. Well done, Belinda. See, the biggest thing with this as well is you guys need to know that people actually do win. These aren't things I'm picking out of my butt and making up fake names. You can see they're actual people. And then Ashley's been working with the prize winner, the husband of the pair who won the trip to South Florida. He's been sick. He's getting better. And then when he's ready, they're flying down here, and we're going to take him out to dinner. And that's usually a lot of fun. And then we're also going to be working next week on some sort of restaurant/bar or whatever get together. We're going to do it upright. Just let you know. Hey, let me just tell you what's going to happen. We're going to do a restaurant/bar takeover. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres and all kinds of goodies there. We're going to have an open bar, and we're going to do it for a certain amount of hours, and you ain't going to have to pay a dime. All you're going to have to do is just tell us you want to come so we know how many people to expect. That's it. And it's going to be a great time for sure. Some of you guys will get to meet each other, get to meet me, get to meet Robin. If Ashley's in town, you get to meet her. Just my way of giving back. We just want to make sure that this is an open and engaged and a family, basically, of people who, want to get together and vote for Trump. As I look, I'm looking at, this is funny, these people are dancing. Look at this. I had to cut the music, but that's what a Trump rally is all about. That's exactly what a Trump rally is all about. These people are dancing. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. People are just dancing, having a good time, waiting for him, even though he's an hour and 15 minutes late. They don't care. Plus, this one's unlike being outdoors where you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, it's so hot." This is indoors. You got air conditioning. Everyone's there. I don't ever see anybody at these indoor events with any concessions or anything. So I don't know if they do not serve, if the concessions are closed or whatever. But I never see anybody with anything to eat or drink. So maybe they can't serve water because the water bottles can become projectiles. I don't know. But people are just standing around for hours. Imagine that. People are standing around for hours waiting for this man to show up. And if you've never been to his rally, and this one's not a rally, this is a town hall, if you've never seen him speak, I'm telling you, it's no manufactured BS. People get ready a night in advance. They sleep out like it's Bruce Springsteen concert, even though he's a tool. And they just wait, and they wait, and they wait, and they snake through security lines that take hours to get through, literally hours to get through. When we had the West Palm Beach one, it was pouring rain, and people were just standing there waiting in line to get in. And the line went up and down and all around and everything else. And people, that's why, one of the reasons also why I just can't fathom that these polls can be correct whatsoever. I've been to these rallies. I've seen people stand in line for hours in the heat. Never mind indoors, but in the heat. What's this say? I live on 15 acres in South Texas. Oh, that means you're going to eat if something happens. Absolutely. Probably water and paper cups. I don't see anybody. Here, I'll show you.
I can tell you this. I don't see
anybody holding any liquid. I mean, as they pan the crowd, you can see yourself. There's nobody holding anything. Not a cup, nothing. No popcorn, no food, no hot dogs, nothing. They're all standing there just waiting for Trump to show up. And as they pan a crowd, you can see yourself. They got their cell phones, but nobody has anything to drink or eat. So I don't even think they're giving out, since it's indoors, they may not even be giving out water. Look at that. Look for yourself. Nope. People just standing around waiting. And it's amazing. It's amazing when you look at it that people are willing to stand for hours waiting for him to show up. But it's crazy. It's crazy. I never seen nothing like it. Yeah, the people wait for days. I've asked a question. No one responded. Is it because I'm from Scotland? Just wondered if anyone heard about Stormer meeting Trump. Well, you know, sometimes they go really quick and people may not see it. I just happened to look over and see that. I know Zelensky came today. I know Stormer was talking about coming, but I don't know when it is that he is going to meet with him. Maybe that's why Trump is in New York. He's been staying up there for a couple of days. Let me see. Stormer, Trump. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we got some information. Yeah, they already had dinner, it says here. It says, let's see, when did it? Yeah, they already ate. They did it last night. Let me put this up so you can see it. There it is. Sturmer held a 2-hour dinner with U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump in the first face-to-face meeting between the pair. The Labor leader and the former president dined at Trump Tower in New York on Thursday night, early Friday morning in London, after Starmer delivered a speech at the UN General Assembly. Interesting. Very interesting. So, yes, to answer your question, heard anything about Stormer meeting Trump? Yep, I can say yes affirmatively. I can tell you that it indeed did happen. We got Marsha Blackburn on stage. Let's hear what she's got to say.
I have learned today that this is the hub of engineering and manufacturing for the U.S. auto industry. And it is all because of you, the auto workers. Now, if you are an auto worker, I want you to raise your hand high. Let us say thank you. I am absolutely thrilled that we have the heart and soul of the auto industry right here. You are with us tonight. And one of the things that I think we have to pay attention to is what we all believe in. And looking at your faces and listening to you while I was backstage, I know that you believe in these values that have made this country great. Hard work, community, faith, family, and you've put that to work to build a great community. And in World War II, it was Warren, Michigan that put their manufacturing might to work and helped us win that war. So we celebrate that with you, and we're so pleased that you put that to work, and now you make the finest cars on the face of the planet, right here. But, you know, these great manufacturing jobs, the Democrats just don't seem to understand, or maybe they don't care that we're losing a lot of these jobs. And they like to say, well, it's automation, or, well, we've changed how we do business, or it's global competition with China. And a lot of times it is bad policies and environmental regulation that the Democrats push forward. And what they don't get is you are paying the price with your jobs and with your wages. So let me ask you a question. I've got one question for you. Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? All right. One more question. Can you stand 4 more years with Kamala Harris? Well, I want to tell you something. Under President Donald Trump, he created 400,000 new manufacturing jobs in this country. And you know why he did it? He believes in you and the American worker. He revitalized manufacturing in the USA. He returned jobs from places like China. And you know what? He did it once. He will make American manufacturing great again. So here we go. I want you to give it up big time. Let's make it huge for the 45th President of the United States, soon to be the 47th, Donald J. Trump.
And I won't forget the men.
Got to make sure we don't play the music. As soon as the music stops, we will get right to it. I'll need to check volume, but Trump is pulling up onto stage at 7:26. So only an hour and a half late, 90 minutes late, but he's getting there. Where the heck is he? He hasn't walked out yet. They're all clapping for him, looking down the gangplank, trying to figure out if he's coming up yet. But Marsha Blackburn fired up the crowd. I guess she's going to be the moderator tonight. It looks as though she will be the moderator. So here comes Trump. I see people taking pictures of him. He's probably taken a long time. There he is. Finally, we see him. Trump is walking out right there. Those people got some prime seats, didn't they? They're right there. get to greet him as he's walking in. That's wild. Man, I want that seat. I want that seat as he's walking right by. Be able to just go ahead and shake his hand. That's just totally awesome. So the music is playing. Obviously, I can't play. You're not missing anything. I'm not playing the sound. I'm just not allowed to. But as soon as he gets in front of the microphone and they get started, we will turn the audio on, take my face off the screen, and you guys can listen to this town hall that's starting an hour and a half late, but nonetheless is starting. So the reason he's just standing there is because, as he always does, he waits for the music to basically play, and now he goes into his half dance. I got that part down. I got the half dance down, and I think I got the other part too. There we go. I'm getting it. I'm ready to do the Trump dance. Oh God, that's too funny. The Trump dance. It could be all the threats of his life. Yeah. I have to I'm live. You can hear me talk. I just can't play the music. Yeah, I wish I could show y'all pictures. Pennsylvania for Trump. Okay, here we go. Let me see if the music's still playing. All right.
Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
Mr. President, it's all yours.
Well, it's great to be with you, and
Please let me know if if the sound is okay. Let me know if the sound is okay.
bad news first. The worst numbers I think I've ever heard. You know exactly what I'm talking about, with a lot of people being released into our country that should never, ever be here, right? Like nobody can believe, but I've been saying it for 3.5 years because we are the party of common sense. We really know what's going on, and coming out of jails, murderers at levels that nobody thought possible. And it was all done by Comrade Kamala Harris. Our great border czar, who's incompetent, who's totally incompetent, and 245,000 criminals, but much more than 13,000 convicted murderers who were in jail. They were all released into our country, and we can't put up with this. This is gross incompetence, and let's get back to the show, okay? Get back to the show, right?
Absolutely. And Mr. President, I've got to tell you, they have been having a great time. While they've been waiting for you, they've been singing, they've been talking. And I know we've got some questions tonight. And Nico, you're first up. Let's have at it.
Come on.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Hello, Nico.
My name is Nico. I'm from Plymouth, Michigan. Last week, I was laid off at Detroit Diesel. I was an assembler on the line, building diesel engines made in the USA. And my question is about immigration. Illegal immigrants are hurting American workers like me who are just starting off. How will you stop this invasion?
Well, very easy. We're going to close the wall. We're going to close the border. You know, I built hundreds of miles. Nico, I built hundreds of miles of wall and did it well. And we had the best numbers we ever had 4 years ago, and now we have the worst numbers in the history of the world, not just this country. At least 21 million people came in during their term, and as we just said, a lot of them are real bad people, real rough people. But they're also taking a lot of jobs from Americans, probably happened with you. And as the small number of jobs they created were all taken by illegal immigrants in the last short period of time, and we're going to make that change. You look like it'd be great. I'd like to have you make the motor, the engine, the motor of my car any day of the week. I'll bet you did a great job. I'll bet he did a great job. But we're going to bring the automobile business back to this area where it started, and we're going to bring it back at levels that have never been seen before. We're going to be lowering taxes. We're going to be doing a lot of things, but we're lowering taxes. We're going to use tariffs very, very wisely. You know, our country in the 1890s was probably, Marcia, probably the wealthiest it ever was because it was a system of tariffs. And we had a president, you know, McKinley, right? You remember Mount McKinley, and then they changed the name. But one of those things, he was really a very good businessman, and he took in billions of dollars at the time, which today it's always trillions, but then it was billions and probably hundreds of millions. But we were a very wealthy country, and we're going to be doing that now. We're going to do it where we keep, you know, our enemies and our friends too. They've taken advantage of us for years on trade, and year by year, all the time, we're losing our companies that make our cars, make the autos. A lot of them are going to Mexico now, and it's Mexico through China because China owns the factories. They're building big factories. They wouldn't have done it with me. They're building big factories, the biggest in Mexico, and they think they're going to make the cars and sell them in and close up Detroit, close up everything in this area, close up South Carolina, and it's not going to happen because we're going to put very heavy tariffs on those cars coming across the border. And we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let it happen. So what we're saying is, Nico, we're going to have these companies that want to build in Mexico, they want to build in China, if they want to do business in the United States, they have to make their product, whether it's a car or anything else. We want them to make their product, have their plant in the United States. This way we employ our people like Nico, we're going to employ you, I guarantee, and we're going to do it very fast, and then we have to keep out the competition, and we're going to make fair trade by charging them tariffs. If they want to come in and steal our wealth and steal our jobs and steal our companies, then they have to pay a price for that. And we've done it, and, you know, I charged, as Marcia can tell you, China paid hundreds of billions of dollars during my term. And I had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And we were just getting started, actually. But we had the greatest economy, the greatest employment for everybody, men, women, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, everybody. Young people with a diploma, without a diploma, people that went to the best schools in the world, got PhDs. Every single class, without exception, was the best they've ever been. And we're going to get that back and then some. So we're going to bring a lot of companies in, and we're going to have a lot of jobs, and you're going to have a lot of jobs to choose from, okay? Thank you.
That's great. Everybody appreciates that, and appreciate when you talk about immigration, you talk about building the wall and making certain that we secure this country. Okay, Misty.
And by the way, we built more wall than I said I was going to build, and then we had 200 miles of wall ready to go. It was all fabricated, all made to the highest specifications of Border Patrol and ICE, and it was all set. And then we got more votes than any sitting president has ever gotten by far. And they say we lost the election. So let's leave it at this. You know what? We have one coming up in 39 days, so that'll be a wonderful replacement. Wonderful replacement.
Absolutely. All right. Misty.
Good evening, President Trump.
I wasn't sure. She reminded me when I was in the debate with crooked Hillary Clinton. She got up and she started walking around, and I said, "What's going on over here?" Go ahead. I didn't know you were going for such a beautiful young lady. Go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, President Trump.
Good evening.
My name's Misty. I proudly build the Ford Broncos and Rangers. Yeah! I've been with Ford for 25 years. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm sorry. I was not for you in the beginning. But my son told me I sounded ignorant and I needed to educate myself on you.
That's it.
True.
That's what we're like. Where is he? Where is he? Is he here?
No, he
Well, you say, "I love your son." I think it's great.
He said just get his autograph. Anyways,
Yeah,
so I took the challenge on. And I'm proud to say that I'm voting for you again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
My question for you is, I'm a single mom of 5, and becoming difficult to afford, the basics. So can you please tell me what you're going to do to lower the prices for us?
Yeah, so what we have to do, because the prices are so high, thank you, darling, very much. It's a great question. People are hurt by the cost of groceries, the cost of everything. There's nothing less expensive. If you go back 4 or 5 years, everything was just a fraction of what it is now. And they're making essentially, if they make the same wages, they're getting wiped out because prices are up 50, 60, 70% for a lot of things. For some items, it's much more than that. Well, look at interest rates. They were 2%, now they're 10%, but at 10% you can't get the money. At 2%, there was plenty of money for everybody for buying a house, et cetera, et cetera. But when you look at groceries, I think it's this thing that really, I always say this is an election that I used to say determined by the stomach. Actually, I don't believe that anymore. I think it's now determined by the brain, because nobody wants to have criminals pouring into our country. Nobody wants to have any of these horrible things that are happening to our country. But we're going to be bringing them down, and it's going to start with energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. Energy's coming way down. Energy's coming way down, and when energy comes down, everything else follows. That's what started this onslaught of inflation, that the greatest we've ever had in our country. We had the greatest inflation over the list, and it actually, we had almost no inflation. And that carried on for 2 years into there. I used to say his, now I say there. But nobody even really knows who our president is, if you want to know. Who's our president? Who is he? Nobody, we're not sure who the president is. Yeah. It sounds good. Thank you. But the inflation, it carried on for almost 2 years into that. We had a solid no inflation. It was solid, and then it exploded because what they did was the energy, and also what they did, just almost as importantly, was they spent like nobody's ever spent. They went crazy. And the Green New Scam, and they were spending on things that didn't help the country, and it also drove. So between the energy and the spending, the inflation went up, and food prices came with it, and rent came with it, everything came with it. And we had, I think, the worst inflation we've ever had, and we're going to bring it down. So we're going to bring it down with energy and interest rates. The interest rates are going to come down, but first we're going to get, and here's a statement that I make to you tonight. We are going to have energy. We have more liquid gold, I call it. You've heard that said, liquid gold. That's oil and gas. We have more oil and gas, liquid gold, than any country in the world, including Saudi Arabia and Russia. And we're going to bring it down. We're going to bring your energy bills down, and also business, where they can employ people. But we're going to bring the energy down by 50% in the first 50% in the first 12 months. And when we do that, everything else is going to follow. Everything follows the energy. And because we have so much, they don't drill, they go to Venezuela. We buy oil from Venezuela. What's that all about? And we have more than anybody else in the world. Think of it. Saudi Arabia doesn't have as much. Russia doesn't have as much. And we're going to other countries. We're going to drill, and we're going to take it out. Your energy bills will be 50% lower 1 year from January 20th. 1 year from January 20th, okay? And that's going to have a huge impact, okay? Thank you. Say hello to your son. Thank you. Very good. Good job. Thank you.
Well, I think that everybody is ready to get those prices at the pump down. And one thing I found out is 84% of all the cars that these good people made, and 84% of the cars sold in 2023 were gas-powered cars. And we need to get that price down.
Yeah, so it's a good point. Look, they have an electric mandate. Every car is going to be electric, they say. I will terminate that now. And you have to understand, Elon endorsed me with the strongest endorsement, and we love him, and he's great. And by the way, the Tesla is amazing, but not everybody should have an electric car. It might be 7 or 8% of the market, and then you also want hybrids, and you want to have pure gasoline-driven powered cars. We're going to have everything. The new one is hydrogen. There's one problem. Do you know what the problem is? They blow up. You'll be to the other side of the arena, and you won't feel too good. So until they fix that problem, I'm going to pass personally. If you'd like one, you can buy one, but I'm going to pass. But you've got to have alternatives and choices. That's what the country's all about. And we're not going to have, I will end the electric mandate on day one of the administration. Okay?
That is great. I tell you what, if we can get you back to drilling on day one and then get that inflation down, and our audience might not know this, when you left office, inflation was 1.4%. Today, the cumulative inflation rate is 20.3%. And as Mike Rogers, who's running for Senate here, you're going to have a great senator.
Where is he? He's here someplace.
Somewhere.
Where is Mike? There he is.
Yes.
Hi, Mike.
There he is. All right.
Wow.
There is Mike. But Mike gave me a great phrase when I was campaigning with him a few days ago. He said, the most expensive vehicle you drive in 2024 is the grocery cart. And And Donald Trump is going to get those grocery prices down. All right.
We're going to get them down. It's a big deal. The groceries, more than anything else, they talk about what's at the checkout counter, the groceries, and we're going to get it all down. It's going to be done. Not just stopping and holding inflation. That's the easy part. We have this big damage done to our country. We have to get the prices down. Where bacon is up. Oh, bacon. We don't order bacon anymore. It's too expensive, right? But it's all up too much, and we're going to get it down. But it's going to start with energy, and it's going to start also with interest rates. Because once that happens, interest rates are going to come down too. You know, we had, as Marcia said, we had 1.4%. You know, you don't want inflation at zero because that's not actually good. And the worst thing you would have is deflation. Deflation's probably in a certain way as bad or worse than inflation. The ideal number is between 1% every year. If you could do this for the next 100 years, between 1% and 2%, and we were at 1.4% average. It was amazing, right? It was great. So we're gonna take care of inflation and quickly, and we're gonna get those prices coming down very, very substantially and very quickly. Thank you.
And make America affordable again.
And make America great again.
Okay, Tony. Where is Tony? He's over here with a question. Right here. And they're bringing you a microphone.
Hello.
Have at it.
Hello. Good evening, Senator, Mr. President. Welcome to Michigan. As you heard, my name is Tony. Mr. Trump, we met last year at a great round of Bedminster with the Heritage Foundation.
Good.
Great event. It was an honor. Our company's based here in the U.S. We melt steel, and we make automotive parts out of ductile iron for brake components, axle components, and those are made for the big three here. Sadly, though, we're losing jobs to China, India, Mexico, and it's become more difficult to compete. Manufacturers like us, we are some of the largest users of energy, and under Harris and Biden, the energy costs have tripled. So my question is, what will you do to get energy back down so us U.S. manufacturers can compete and bring it back to the jobs here?
Yeah, so it's a great question. A lot of people have the same question because it's affecting their companies. I just left one. A man from the Netherlands, we made a speech, a wonderful guy, and he said the problem was he opened up because of me. He opened in 2017, and he had 3 great years. And now with them, he's not doing well. What we're doing is, I said about the energy as to what we do and how we do it. But China's coming in, and you said Mexico. Mexico's a big threat now. Mexico's taking a lot of your business, and we're not going to let that happen. We need a smart series of tariffs and taxes, Marcia, and it's very simple business. You know, China won't take cars from outside of China. They only take them if you build in China. You have to build your factory. So if I'm making a car and I think I'm going to sell it into China, they have a massive over 100% tariff. So what you do is you say, to not pay that tariff, I'm going to have to build my factory in China. And they encourage it, they help it. We're going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to do it even better. We're going to bring cars back. We're going to bring, like you say, what are you, auto parts and things like that, right? We're going to bring that all back to this country. It's all coming back. If they had to pay tariffs on what they're doing and what they're selling into our country, they wouldn't be putting your business out of business if that's where you're going. It will never happen, and we're going to do it just the opposite. Plus, we're lowering the tax rate. So I took it from 39% to 21%. These are for companies, and that's why we had the great numbers for jobs. But now what I'm doing is I'm going, and nobody thought that was possible, and I got it approved by Congress, believe it or not. Now we're going to from 21 to 15%, but you have to make your product in the USA. So if you want to take advantage of the low tax rate, you have to make your product. So we'll be down to 15%. That gives us one of the lowest tax rates in the whole world, so it's more than competitive. Companies will come here. But in addition to that, we're going to keep this really terrible competition. I don't mind the word competition, but it's predatory, and we're going to keep this competition out so that you're able to grow your business and grow it well, and you'll make the product and you'll sell it inside our country. And I know exactly what your situation is, and it's so easy to solve. We're going to need the help of the Senate. We're going to need the help of the House. And if they won't do it, I have the authorization and the power to do it myself, and we'll have to do it. Okay?
Well, and that's why we need Mike Rogers as Senator Mike Rogers. And we've got Lisa McClain, Congresswoman McClain.
Right.
Yes.
A warrior.
Yes, she is a warrior. And the amazing, incredible Congressman John James.
Hey, John. Good.
And they will help us get this done. I appreciate that you talked about tariffs, and I think it's so important that you continue to call out China, and we support you on that, because we don't want China building those plants in Mexico and then running those cars across the border.
Without any tax whatsoever, and putting everybody here in not only danger, it's over. Your union head, I don't know who he is, Sean Fain or something, whoever this guy is, he sold you out because he let Biden, who doesn't know what he's doing, I mean, you probably noticed, he let this guy come up with an all-electric mandate. Those cars are all going to be built in China. We want cars built in the USA. It's very simple. And they're going to come in at levels. We'll be having auto manufacturing at levels that we haven't seen in 50 years. We're going to have a lot of companies coming in, and we're going to make it competitive so they can come in and they can thrive, not like this gentleman where they come in and they dump product. And you know what they do? They dump the product cheaply, and then everyone goes out of business. Then they take over the businesses and they sell it for 2 and 3 times what it was selling for before. The whole thing, it's really not too you know, Rockefeller in the old days, he used to open a gas station. He used to underprice it by 50 or 100. He'd give the gas away. He'd drive the people out of business around him. Then he'd buy up the gas stations or close them, and he'd make a fortune. That's exactly what they do on an even bigger scale. We're not going to let it happen. It's going to be over. We're going to have a smart system of tariffs. And by the way, if they don't want to play that game, then we're going to get a lot of money from tariffs. So Marcia can tell you, I charged hundreds of billions of dollars to China in tariffs and taxes. No other president has ever charged China 10 cents. And we take in hundreds of billions of dollars, so much so that Biden can't get rid of it. He's still got it on, you know, he wants to, but it's so much money. And frankly, it's a lot of money. But also, if you did get rid of it, they'd come in and they'd put all your businesses out of business. So the Senate and the House have to get really smart on this, because purposely over a period of years, they've given it a bad name. Actually, I consider it one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The word tariff, I love it. I think it's beautiful. Almost as beautiful as that chart that I looked to the right. Almost as beautiful. Where is that chart? Where's that chart? Do they have it? I love that chart. Oh, I love that chart. Whoa. That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. If I didn't look over there real fast, I guess I wouldn't be with you tonight, right? That's I sleep with that chart. I go to bed with it. I kiss it goodnight. I love you, baby. That chart. But the word tariff is a beautiful word if properly used, and it gives us power, strength. And you know, beyond just economic strength, there are times when I had 2 countries fighting. I don't want to tell you which ones, but I had 2 countries fighting. It looked like they were going to go to war again. I think Rick Grinnell is here. Is Rick Grinnell here? I think so. Did a fantastic job. Yeah. They're fighting. I said, fellas, you guys want to fight? You want to kill people in your countries? That's okay. But if you do, I'm going to charge you 200% tariff to do business with the United States. And that's it. They called me back 2 days later, sir, we've made peace. After years, we've made peace. So, it really does. It has a great power to it. There's a great power if you know how to use it.
Well, it does indeed. And another thing with great power was the 2017 Trump tax cuts. And we need Republicans in the Senate and the House to make the Trump tax cuts permanent.
Right. She's right. They want to raise your taxes. They want to take out the Trump tax cuts, which will, I think, close to Depression time. Not recession, but Depression time. Because it was the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And you got a lot of other things, too. Estate tax, death tax. If you love your children and you want to leave your business to them or whatever, does anybody not love their children? Because if you don't love your children, then it doesn't help you too much. But if you want to leave, but leave it to anybody. But you had zero estate tax. You had zero death tax, we call it. Sometimes I like the word estate better than death, but a lot of people use the word death. And that was a big thing because you would have a farm and you'd leave it to your children and they have a big tax to pay. They'd go out to the bank, they'd borrow the money, they'd end up losing the farm and living like hell. And part of our tax cuts, nobody even talks about it, but the people that are involved in this stuff really say that's one of the best things. You have no estate or death tax to pay, so it's really great.
Well, we're going to...
They want to end that.
We'll lower those taxes. We'll have those tariffs. We're going to make those cars right here and then see them loaded on a Teamster-driven big rig and taken all across the country.
And thank you to the Teamsters. Did you know I got 60% of the vote with the Teamsters? So thank you, Teamsters. That's the first time that happened in a long time.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Thank you, Teamsters.
Our next question is from Ashley. Whoops, stepped on that water bottle.
Hi, Mr. President.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming to Michigan. My name is Ashley, and I work at the Chrysler plant. Like many auto workers, I am deeply concerned about the future of our industry. With many jobs being outsourced as we speak, what actions will you take to ensure that our jobs stay in America so we can continue to build the best cars in the world here in Michigan?
So pretty much as we've been saying, and what I want to do is I want to be able to look, your business, years ago in this area, I was honored as the Man of the Year. It was maybe 20 years ago. Oh, and the fake news heard about it. They said, it never happened, it never happened. And I didn't know who it was. It was a group that honored me as Man of the Year. The fakers back there, see the fake news? But they said, oh, and they looked, and they said it never happened, but I said, I swear to you, it happened. It did happen. I was Man of the Year. And I came and I made a speech, and I said, why do you allow them to take your car business away? Why do you allow it to happen? They're taking your business away. And I didn't know too much about it. All I know is they were taking your car industry away from you. They said it never happened. And lo and behold, somebody said, I remember the event, and then we found out and we had everything. We got the awards, we had everything. It did happen, but I gave a speech which at the time was pretty controversial. We can't let them take your car business away. It's such an important business. And it's an important business even in times of war where they switch over. And it was really something. And I looked at that speech from, I don't know, it's like 19, 20 years ago. And I could repeat it now without changing a word. You cannot let foreign countries, and a lot of the times our worst foes are our so-called friends, okay? Our friends, the European Union takes tremendous advantage of us. As an example, they give us cars by the millions. We don't have too many Chevrolets in the middle of European cities, okay? European Union is brutal. They don't take our farm products for the most part. They don't take a lot. But unlike Kamala, who always complains and doesn't do anything, I keep saying, why don't you do, I saw Marcia the other day, why didn't she do it 4 years ago almost? And I say that, she's on the border today, trying to justify, what a day for the border. She goes to the border today, And they just announced, just before she got up to speak, that more than 13,000 murderers from jail, solitary confinement people in many cases, were released. But I just say, let's go back. So we can't let them take our businesses, and we're not going to let them take our businesses. And you can control that so easily through good policy. Not her kind of policy, by the way. She changed her policy 15 times. No fracking. Oh, I like fracking. Defund the police. She wants to defund the police. Now, oh, I love the police all of a sudden. By the way, when anybody is into defunding the police even for a day during their career, they can no longer serve as president of the United States, I can tell you. So we're not going to let them take our businesses. And really, a lot of that's determined by our taxation policy. When China has to pay all that money, the people that liked me the best were the steel companies because I saved them. They were dumping, China and others, but mostly China was dumping steel in here at levels that nobody had ever seen before. And it was putting the steel companies out of business. I put a 50 and 100% tax on the dumping of steel, and the steel companies thrived. I saved them, and you have to have the steel companies. So we'll do the same thing, and you don't worry about it. Here's what you have to do. I only ask you to do one thing, and then you can sleep beautifully all night long, go to a job you love, and get a lot of money at the end of the week. You know what the thing is? Vote for Trump. If you vote for Trump, everything's going to be taken.
There you go.
Everything is going to be taken.
Right. And we have Todd. We've got another question over here. Todd is over here, right there. Okay.
Hi.
He's got his microphone. Todd?
Welcome, President Trump. First off, I want to say you and your family are in me and my wife's daily prayers.
Thank you.
May God continue to watch over you.
Thank you very much.
So my name's Todd. I'm from Shelby. Unfortunately, pretty soon, over 2,000 people will be laid off from my plant that I've worked at for 25 years. And we can't take...
Where are they moving? Where are they moving?
Where they move? We don't know. Actually, we don't
Probably
know.
Mexico, by the way.
Oh, the people. We don't know where the people are going.
Where's the plant going to move? Do you know?
The plant's staying there. We're losing the Ram Classic, as you probably heard. We make the Grand Wagoneer. It's a beautiful truck. But we're waiting on product. So,
you know why it's? Are they being laid off? And is the plant closing?
The plant's not closing. The people will probably be dispersed between other plants. We hope. But yeah, that's happening in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's terrible. So, okay, I get it. Thank you. Go ahead.
We can't take 4 more years, Harris. And my question to you is basic. It's easy. What is your one of your all-time favorite American cars?
My all-time favorite what?
What is one of your all-time favorite American cars?
Okay, so my father was a great guy. I learned so much from him. And he loved Cadillac. I have to. I mean, his biggest luxury in life was to get a brand new dark blue Cadillac every 2 years. And he would. He would get that car. He said, look at this car. He didn't know about a Rolls Royce. He didn't know about, all he liked was Cadillac. And I love it. I think it's a great car. I think it's right now. It's come a long way too, because it's come through some problems, but it's a very good car. I buy a lot of them for different clubs and things, and it's great. And they're very nice people that run the company. But my father liked Cadillac, so that's good enough for me. Does that make sense? Good. And we'll take care of your situation. You watch what happens. When I do that, they're going to be better positioned because I see what's happening with the layoffs. But they're going to be making, that's a good, I don't know what you call it, car. In a way, it's a car. What would you call that? Pretty much a car. They're going to be making more than they've ever made in a very short period of time. You have one thing to do. You have to elect a person with business talent and common sense, and this whole thing is going to turn around very quickly. Very quick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great question.
Mr. President, they have loved having you here in Warren, Michigan. And I think you've got 5,000 people here and even more outside that have wanted to get in and cheer for you and be here to support you. And they do love you. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And everybody is going to be working hard and pulling for November 5th. And we've got great questions that have come from the audience tonight.
Good.
And we're just so excited that you took your time to come here to a great all-American city and talk with a whole bunch of auto workers and let them know you are on their side and you're going to make manufacturing great because you believe in them.
I do.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. So nice. Marcia, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, darling. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Have a good time. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. We got to win this one. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So I keep getting comments, so I'm going to say this one more time so that you guys can like tell the other people. Somebody's like, why can't you play the music? There is something called copyright law. And then I hear somebody say, hey, other channels play the music. Well, the other channels, you don't know, but behind the scene in their dashboard, they are getting dinged. Every time you play copyright music, you get a ding. I don't choose to keep getting dinged by the guys upstairs. And even though Lee Greenwood has given excuse me, Trump the right to play this music, Lee Greenwood has not given me the right to play the music. So whatever rights Trump has to play at his rallies, if he owns an ASCAP or a BMI license, that's up to him. I don't have that. I do not have the ability to play the background music that he's playing. So in any event, and I don't have to ever want to discuss that again. Now some of you, wait a minute, that's a different move there. Now you guys all know. You can tell the other people when they say, why aren't you playing the music? Well, you can't play the music. I don't own the rights to it. That's all I'm going to say about that, period. Other people do it, that's on them. I'm not playing it. I'm not going to get in trouble. There's enough that I talk about that cause people. I almost wonder if people want me to get in trouble, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway, he went for about, once he got on stage, I think 48, 50 minutes of straight questions, a ton of questions. Look at he's meeting these ladies up on stage, meeting the crowd, a diverse crowd. We heard from black people, we heard from white people, we heard from men, we heard from women. Now he's doing selfies with these people. Secret Service must be going crazy. Like, oh my God, get him off the stage, please hurry up. You're not going to make this guy run. Oh, now look at this black woman is going to take a picture with Trump. Oh, sorry, Al Sharpton. Yes, there are black people like me who want Donald Trump as president. Oh, man, this guy, please get him off the stage. Oh, these people are all there. I bet you they paid a lot of money to be right up there on the stage. Maybe they're just VIPs or something, but it's just freaks me out that he's just out there in the open so long. Up on the stage, this guy's talking to him, other people waiting. I see the Secret Service guys are down in the pit, right, waiting for him below. They're keeping an eye on everybody. Look at the guy right off his tailbone there. The guy in the tailbone is watching. And great. So I think the contrast that you saw today, we saw a bunch of stuff that happened really, really bad for Kamala that I don't really think that she can even survive that as he makes his way off the stage. And he is gone out of view. All right, so let's call it, it's over. All right. This guy does two events today. And both of them were extensive. They were long events. And I almost think right now he's training for something. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Something I think Trump is getting ready for, that Kamala is going to be in really big trouble. Really big trouble. But anyway, from what I've seen, I'm sitting here looking at Twitter and everything. From what I've seen, she decides to go down to the border for a photo op. And yes, she took a photo op in front of Trump's wall. I kid you not. She took a photo in front of Trump's wall. How can she possibly look herself in the mirror? Which, by the way, she was in and out of the entire location by the border. Probably in under 30 minutes. And she took no questions. Didn't talk to anybody. It was nothing but a photo op. And that coincided with the backdrop of all the information we heard today from the border records. The report that came out tonight as she was landing in Arizona was that she has let 13,000 murderers in the country. Again, nearly 15,000 men who have done bad things to women, if you know what I mean, I think you do, and over 600,000 convicts have been let into America. And she has the audacity, the cojones, to go down and take a photo op at the border. Man, damn. There's some really stupid Democrats out there. I mean, seriously, stupid Democrats. Y'all trolls, y'all just an embarrassment. You're not even worth talking to at this point. Y'all stupid. Just completely nuts. No respect for you. None whatsoever. You're not even worth the time to engage with. If you really think that that is good to bring in 13,000 murderers, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Good luck. That's all I'm going to say right there. The vanity wall. Yeah, she called it Trump's vanity wall. Meanwhile, she's over there taking selfies at the wall. I swear, I kid you not, she was taking selfies at the wall. Trump's wall. She has no pride, no ethics, none whatsoever. It's incredible. Let Kamala's people waste money with their ads. Yeah, it's crazy. Lord, protect our children and women from these newcomers. Absolutely. Absolutely nuts. Took the words right out of my mouth. It's insane. It's absolutely... The only thing we can do is sit back and just go, this just doesn't make any sense. None of what we're seeing makes any sense. It's a Hollywood production. Let me see if I can pull it up, actually. Let me see. Kamala border. Let me see if this comes up so you guys can actually see it, because you won't believe it. If you're not on X, you may... Oh, first thing that pops up. The very first thing that pops up. Yeah, you're going to love this. Let me go here. There she is. Let me rewind it. There's Kamala ogling at the wall. At Trump's wall. She went down and toured Trump's wall. This woman has no... She's obtuse. And whoever... just crazy. Here's the actual tweet. It says, Kamala Harris finally visiting the same border wall she spent years calling stupid, unrealistic, and racist. What changed? And these are some of her older tweets. Funding Trump's unrealistic border wall would be a gross misuse of taxpayer money. Trump's border wall is just a stupid use of money. I will block any funding for it. And she's out there touring it. Here's another. Kamala Harris is in Arizona visiting the wall. Just everybody's posting and going, this woman can't be this obtuse, can she? Can she really be that obtuse? Yeah, she's out there touring the wall. I want to make sure that you guys saw that. She has no shame. No. So, Baku says the ball's on her. Absolutely. Whew. And what's she doing waving at them? She's out there acting like it's... I guess there's so many idiots on the left who don't realize that was the wall she was against before she's for. Yeah, she's out there touching Trump's wall, taking pictures of it. It's just slimy. This is the woman that these people want to get behind? She doesn't have any backbone whatsoever. You don't even know which side her bread is buttered on. She'll do anything. She'll do absolutely anything. Oh, yeah, that'd be a great thing. Just go ahead and toss her over there. Let Mexico have her. Yeah, it's her only proof that she was there. So now, watch. What that was, guaranteed. It's 8:14. You watch what happens tomorrow or later tonight. You're going to see an ad with her walking along the border and talking about, she's tough on illegal immigration. Guarantee you, that was nothing but a photo op so that they could show her at the wall. Man, how sickening! How sickening! She's AI removed the newcomers because of the optics. So they probably put people on either side of the wall with guns and said, "Don't let anybody come near this wall." Yeah, the cartel was on the other side. Duh. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. She has no shame whatsoever. None. Only pics. Nothing to say. Didn't talk to any reporters. Nothing. Anyone, I have to put this up because this is actually true. Anyone voting for Kamala at this point, you have to wonder just how low their IQ must be. Yeah, either that or pray for them if they have a spouse or children, because they're okay with her bringing in murderers and people who do stupid stuff to women. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on tonight. And if you were here for both shows, I really want to thank you for that as well. 2 long shows, and you guys all showed up for it. I appreciate it very much. Gave away another hoodie tonight, so we gave away 2 hoodies. Tomorrow's another day. I'm not really sure what Trump has on in store tomorrow. Nothing right now on his schedule. And let me go ahead and thank all of you who were nice enough to contribute tonight. I'm gonna point out one person and kind of laugh at it. I want you guys to see this. All right, so wow. RBI Sports, thank you very much. This support given on behalf of all Fanfare members out there from all walks of life is going to take Fanfare Village all on this channel tonight to pull it off on November 5th. What this country needs for one and only Constitution. RBI Sports, thank you very, very, very much. Is this RBI Sports again? No, this is Larry. Larry with $100. Thank you very much. So I just want to let you guys know, these people contributing is going to allow me to give away more stuff. And I thank you so much for that. Heather, thanks for all that you do, Barry. And Heather, your fans from Nova Scotia, thank you very much. Let me bring this down. Okay, here we go. Vote Jarhead. Voting Trump, lock up Harris. Let's get to work. Thank you, Barry, for all you do. Thank you for your donation. Faith, now this is the one I wanted to call out. You know why I want to call out Faith? Because Faith just wanted a hoodie, and she donates after winning a hoodie. Girl, that was me giving to you, and you came right back with it. Thank you. Love my Barry family. Thank you for telling us about the surprise. May God bless all family and yours. Thank you very much. You're going to get somebody else a hoodie. Edwin Mendez, Florida Hurricane Slush Fund from Edwin and Celeste. Thank you very much. Davey from, I guess that's England because that's a pound. I heard 13 missiles have come through the southern border to take out Trump plane. They want him gone, that's for sure. Captain Zlog, November 5th will be my 62nd birthday. All right. Tim Albert, I'm so glad to have found you in your show. Oftentimes your take on a story is my take as well. It's comforting, especially here in California where opinions are few and far between. Can't imagine, bro. Can't imagine. Joe Sapp, thank you. I truly would love to see you interview Donald Trump. It would be amazing. I can't even tell you. I don't even know how to act. I wouldn't even know how to act. Trump, have your people call my people, please. Yeah, okay. Cheryl Key, thank you. Glenda Cruz, thank you. Mags, hey, thank you. Barry, that's what I meant. Even manipulating polls. Sorry you took me wrong. No, it's all good. We're talking, right? It's all good. Comedian Cha, thank you. Golden Girl, you're my only source of news, Ray. Thanks for all you do. Somebody had asked me earlier, like, how do you have the energy to do what he does? Man, I put myself in his shoes. I'm like, here's a 78-year-old man who's got people shooting at him, and if he can do it, I can do it. Faith again. After this news today, we have to go to the theater to see Vindicating. Trump, Dinesh Souza made the movie. Yeah, when's that come out? If it comes out tomorrow, I'm definitely going to go see it. Nimrod Stevens, thank you. Say when. Comedian Cha, thank you. Just another knucklehead, brother. Thank you for coming back again. Trump was right. Yes, he was. John Torres, we need Trump in the White House yesterday, badly, to end this nonsense. People have lost their freaking sense, seriously. Tim Harrington, thank you. Big Cat again, thank you. Barry, thank you for your daily programs and hosting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm seriously, I mean it, all of you to tune in. Thank you very much. Albert Marsh, Gina Duncan, I grew up in rural eastern Kentucky. If a stranger walks down any of the country roads, the warning will be given. No questions before and and nobody after. Oh, I just love that. I know there's probably a lot of people in the city who won't like that, but what you doing here? You don't belong here. Okay. James Wilson, wow, thank you. 10th grade dropout, went military, first in family to retire. Access is there. Kamala, always been. Thank you. Susan McCauley, thank you. Gina Duncan, the warning is a click. A fellow may not hear it. If you guys don't know what is, I would love for you to go look up a Mossberg persuader. And what Gina is saying, the warning is a click. She's talking about pulling the hammer back on a gun. But on a Mossberg, the warning is a and because the next sound you hear, you won't have another one, but you get the gotta love that Mossberg persuader. Can't believe Border Patrol guys let them in. Yeah, absolutely. Patricia Overby, thank you very, very much. Stay strong, America. That's awesome, Patricia. Fight, fight, fight. Florida strong. Yep, absolutely. Tessie Ledoux, thank you. Donald Donovan, I was just telling my wife that even if we get all the things that we need to survive for at least 6 months and nothing happens, we'll be good. That's it. It's just there. Go ahead and invest in it somehow. Like the other lady said, she doesn't have the money to do it. Go to a food bank. Whatever you do, go in a food bank. Let them go after the cookies and all that kind of crap. Look for the spam, the cans of chef SpaghettiOs, stuff that you could eat. George Rivera, if you have to worry about standing too close to a microwave, you're a goner. Kyle Frost, Biden said he saw himself as a transition president. We are transitioning into the New World Order right before our eyes. Melvin Vega, thank you. Sharon O, everything going down is intentional. Prepare. Heed what she just said. And remember to keep watching the news and just keep Googling seaports strike and see how that's transpiring. And then basically on Sunday night, if you see they're going on strike, head to the grocery store and get some gas. Diamond G, Toilet Paper Wars 2024. It's coming. If they shut stuff, oh man, go get it. Penny M. Quarter, thank you. Is a town hall or rally? It looks more like a rally. It looked like it was a combination. It was supposed to be a town hall, and I'm going to tell you why this was important in a second. Niall Adamson, thank you. Wendy Kilpatrick, thank you, Barry, for all you do. Thank you, Wendy. You keep us with our sanity in this challenging time. Thank you. Net Ket Kurzhaw, thank you. Danny Strange, Maga Mama, thank you, your family and the mods for great content. Marcus, my buddy, my city, Warren, Michigan, is Trump. Oh, so you live right there. Awesome. Jeremy Teal, you would be so fun to have a beer with, Barry. Love watching your show. I get in trouble watching you at work. Well, we're going to have some sort of get-together if you're not too far away. Daniel Guti, you know what? Maybe, if I can twist my wife's arm, maybe we might fly a couple people in, too. Dancy Gutierrez, we love your show. We watch every day. Great information and content. Make the U.S. red and take back our country. Thank you. Donna, keep up the good work. I will. Thank you. Bernetta Rivers, thank you. K-Dog, why no more Subway cup? Well, I had to go to the Yeti. Got the Yeti. It looks better. And, Subway ain't paying me, so might as well go to Yeti. Yeti, call me. Daniel Swink, God bless you, Barry, for doing this. The 65-year-old man believes in Donald Trump and has voted for him since 2016. I pray the Lord keeps a barrier around our president and keeps him safe. The Democrats are the Antichrist. Well said. William Flanagan, 15% tax of a business profit is better than 90% of tax on a business with zero profit. What he's saying there is help businesses thrive, the government makes more money. Christine Engler, where am I? Christine Engler twice. Magnetic fields from power lines and magnetotherapy are generally safe for people with stents as long as the frequency doesn't exceed 50 hertz and other fields are negligible. So somebody asked earlier if there was an EMP, if you have a heart stent, is it a problem? And that's what she was talking about. What email address do we use to show ideas to? Ashley, if you're on here, can you go ahead and hit up Christine and because I can't do it here, that way you can show her. Larry1754 and RB Sports I read to you guys already. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Friday evening. Let me just check something. Let's see if Trump did not schedule anything. Let's see here. Waiting for his page to come up. And no, we do have something tomorrow. I forgot, my bad. Tomorrow we have a speech at 2 o'clock in Wisconsin. So there's a speech tomorrow, and then on Sunday he's got a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania. One of Robin's friends lives right near Erie, so that's going to be interesting. So I told you that tonight might have been a practice run. And the reason why I was saying that is you may not know, but as of right now, both Trump and Kamala Harris have both committed to doing a town hall with Univision. I think it's Univision or it's Telemundo. I think I may have told you guys this before. I think it's, let me just make sure. Trump Town Hall Univision. All right. Yes. Okay, so let me pull this up. Where are we here? So I can pull this up so you guys can see this. And where are we? This is important to know, and I'll tell you why in a second. All right, so Univision is going to hold two separate town halls. They're not going to be on the same stage. Harris is going to do one at 10 o'clock. Trump is going to do one, I believe, at 8 or 9 o'clock. So here's the thing here. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump will appear at two separate town halls in front of Spanish-speaking audiences next month. Move your ad here. Okay. Why it matters. One of the largest U.S. Spanish language broadcasters is putting the presidential candidates before key voting bloc. There are more than 36 million Hispanics, as we know. Right now, those Hispanics are shifting big time to Trump. So all he's going to do is help himself because he's already up big time on her. The town halls are scheduled to take place next week, and both will be moderated by Enrique Acevedo. Let's see here. So here's the thing, and I'm going to see if I can get tickets. The sit down with Trump will take place in Miami and will air October 8th at 10 p.m. Interesting. The program with Harris will be held in Las Vegas and will air October 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know how they're going to do that. Doesn't that say? Okay, oh no, it's 2 different days. Okay, so October 8th at 10 p.m. Is going to be the Miami one with Trump, and then October 10th at 10 p.m. is going to be the one with Harris. He's doing his in Miami, she's doing hers in Las Vegas. So that is going to be absolutely huge. He's going to be talking to a Hispanic market down here in Miami. So I already know I don't know how Univision is going to do it, but he's going to a friendly audience. So they may have to seed that one to get some anti-Trumpers in there, but that's going to be pretty important. Let me see what else they say about it. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. The events will stream in English on Noticias Univision's YouTube channel. They'll also air with Spanish language translation on Univision and stream on Viex Noticias 24/7 channel. All right, so we're going to try and see if we can't get the rights to broadcast that. I don't speak Spanish. Maybe I can bring somebody. Oh, JJ, Pastor JJ. Maybe he can come on and he can interpret some of the questions. I'm sure they'll have closed captions or something, but we're going to make sure that we show that town hall. We may even do both. We may look to do his, and then we'll do hers on the 10th. So coming up, we've got the vice presidential debate on the 1st with J.D. Vance, and I'm sure between the 1st and the 8th, Trump's going to have a bunch of events, and then on the 8th, we got that town hall with Univision, which I think is going to be absolutely monstrous. That is going to be huge, and she's not going to be able to stand up to him. I'm telling you that right now. That's why they're having it on 2 different events, and she's having hers second. So she gets to hear all the questions he says, and then she gets to hear all the questions he's asked. Then she gets to hear all of his answers, and then she can spout off and say what she wants at that point. And she'll get to respond. He won't get to respond. Blah 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 blah. And that's how they'll go with that. But that should be pretty cool. Absolutely cool. Let's see what we got here. That's pretty much it. All right, guys, I'm done for the evening. I want you guys to go ahead and never use a microwave without a ground plug. Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a great Friday night. They will have translators. Somebody says here, Braulia Guerrero says they will have translators. So get ready for that. What I'm going to start doing is I'll start publishing, once we get the membership site up, I'll start publishing dates in advance so you guys know, and we can get as many people in here as possible, and we'll have a calendar set up. Ashley, if you're still here, you can put that as a note. We'll talk when you get down here about putting a calendar together. In fact, Ashley will be in town that weekend, so maybe, oh no, that's Kamala's weekend. The 8th is where Trump's going to be down here. Well, Maybe I can sneak away. We'll see what happens. In any event, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it said 5:30, but